All right, let's go ahead and get started at the bottom of the list with permissions, starting with Peter.
I give my consent.
Mellowater.
I give my consent.
Lucidum.
I give my consent.
Lepernicus.
Give it to me harder, Dungeon Daddy. Yes, I give my.
Oh my god. I've missed that. And Daimonos.
The safe word is moist.
Just give me your consent, Chen.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, first of all, happy birthday, Lop.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. So I would like to welcome all of you to Echoes of Deceit. This is a one-shot that Lop was kind enough to put together for the birthday event. This should be an exciting run. He wanted a specific kind of adventure, and so I have done my best to try and bring that desire to life. So if you have any questions about Roll20, we shouldn't have anything that is too insanely difficult as far as difficult things to understand. Most of your rolls can be done by simply clicking an area on your character sheet, and if you can't find that, then we can help you out with that really easily. A lot of this adventure is going to probably be, we're going to look at about a 60-40 split of combat and exploration and intrigue. So you're going to have a little bit of investigation to do. That might take some skill checks. You're going to have a little bit of things to deal with once you figure out what's going on. Most of the first part might be a little bit slow burn because, that's how tension is created. But as we get towards being further on, you will start to discover that once you know what's going on, you are definitely going to want to have no part of it. And that usually involves extreme violence. So that should be entertaining. So, the 5 of you are going to be playing an adventuring party that have gone down to what has been called the Southern Continent. The name of it has been swapped over between several different civilizations over the centuries, but its icy climb and fairly harrowing amount of frostbitten monsters has resisted a lot of investigation and any real expansion. You were sent down here in order to explore a set of ruins, but unfortunately, you were forced to turn back before you could get that far due to a encroaching storm. These storms are known down here as whiteouts, which is something that you probably all know as a term. It lasts for somewhere between 3 weeks and 5 months before the storm lets up. So your only hope, if there is a whiteout coming, is to either pray that you had a massive amount of supplies, that your companions are extremely tasty, or that you can get to a boat in time. Getting to a boat in time is the option that your group has taken. Before we get to your characters, though, we have a small intro to go through that ought to be fun. Each of you is going to be taking control of an NPC for a short period. There's a small encounter that some of you might recognize as a variant of something. If you do notice that, then keep it to yourself and just enjoy what you probably know is coming. Give me just a second to move things over here. And I'm going to go ahead and give Troll Sarah for this one. Mellow, Squish, Loose, Jen, and Lucidum. So, our journey does not actually start with your party. Instead, it starts with another group of individuals. This band of seafarers function as a combination of privateers and transport specialists. A decently small 10-man crew for a decently sized vessel. One of these individuals has their nickname after the vessel, and that would be Sea Star. It has, however, since been changed to the IEV Elmondar. While they are waiting for everyone to be loaded onto their vessel, they decide to go out to a set of nearby ruins to see if they can pick up anything of note and bring it back. and perhaps find some more stragglers that might be willing to part with a large amount of coin for passage on their vessel, because it's either part with your coin or contend with the storm, and nobody wants to contend with a whiteout. As your band of intrepid individuals is exploring this area of the ruins, they notice something to the south. A single wolf running in your direction. So you should be able to see from your character's perspectives. You should have a slightly better idea of your view distance around your character. As well as your character should be the only one that you can select.
Are we free to move about the game board?
To a maximum of 30 feet. Eagle Eye Edmund, over here on the east, is going to, of course, spot the creature approaching from the south, and is going to move up and hop up onto one of the stones, calling out to the rest of you, "Oi! It looks like there's something coming this way."
Steady hand Sophia looks over with her enormously and ridiculous floppy hat and goes, "What the heck is that?" And she takes a swig from a bottle of whiskey that she has in hand.
Gotta keep those hands steady. Go ahead and roll perception. Just go ahead and roll a flat d20. I know what all the character stats are as you peer off into the distance.
Yo!
All right. Well, there you go. You can see that it does appear to be a fairly common variety of wolf that is running in your direction. Common for down here, their fur tends to be slightly more white and gray to blend with the climate, and they are quite resistant to the cold. Although even they don't stay out during a whiteout, usually seeking cover in storms. However, you do also see another figure in the falling snow in the distance behind the wolf is what appears to be a person in a cloak flying through the air about 30 feet off of the ground. And they look like they are gaining on the wolf with relative speed. Do any of the rest of you want to do anything?
Can we tell if the wolf is fleeing from the flying person?
Steady hands Sophia will be able to tell you that that is what it appears to be.
Damn. Shit time for your dog to get a wild hair of its butt and want to run off.
Maybe we should try to call the dog to us.
Hi, Sea Star. What do you make of it?
I want to see if there's any way we can identify or see the person flying towards us right now. Like, if there's any way to tell exactly what we're looking at, aside from, a vague shape.
Fortunately, even with the 24 that Sophia got, she can't make out much other than the individual is wearing some kind of robe and cloak, and the dog itself, the wolf, seems to be a wolf. It's larger than your average wolf back home, but not monstrously so. It's still smaller than a dire wolf.
Okay.
It's an extremely healthy specimen of a wolf, it appears.
And as you all watch, it is going to continue dashing toward your group, relatively high speed.
Stormbringer wants to pull out his dagger from his belt.
All right. And that will bring this guy over here onto the map. As he approaches, you can see a little bit better. It is no human, nor any of the humanoid races that are native to the land that you come from. Instead, it is a frostborn lizard man, a local tribe of cold-resistant lizard men. He seems to be making for the wolf at high speed and will not even slow down as he makes a series of somatic components with his claws and blasts a firebolt toward the wolf, scorching a small hole in the snow. The wolf seems desperate, dodging and weaving back and forth, trying to make it to your group, looking almost pitiful as it flees from the thing that is hunting it.
Sophia's going to take another swig from her bottle and just calmly take a step back as this thing is launching firebolts at the poor critter.
Stormbringer's gonna wave at the wolf and try to direct it to take cover in the rocks.
Okay. Eagle Eye is going to hop over between these rocks and try and assist you as best he can, waving his hands to try and motion, "Over here, boy! Over here!"
I'm going to holler at him like, hey, the hell's wrong with you? I mean, I know food's about to be scarce, but the hell, man?
It's a lizard. What do you expect?
That sounds a little bit racist.
All right, so the wolf is going to hop over here, running between the two of you, and is going to kind of take cover behind one of the rocks, leaning out to lick at Stormbringer's hand.
Stormbringer will try to calm him down while we keep an eye on this lizard mage thing.
All right. Lizard mage thing is going to fly over here, lowering by 5 feet until he's at 25 feet, and is going to take aim with another firebolt. Oh boy, that is a natural one. All right, the firebolt is going to miss the wolf, but that's only because Stormbringer is partially in the way. You're going to take 6 points of fire damage, Stormbringer, as you get blasted by a firebolt.
I'm like, dog, it better be worth it.
All right, and as the lizard man is heading in your direction, he calls out to you in the native language.
Do we even understand? Does our characters even understand?
No. Go ahead and roll a d20 for insight. Wow, look at what is going on. My God.
Hey. I guarantee you this is all our getting it out of the way for when the shit hits the fan. That's when we're all going to get the nat ones.
Yeah, this is going to go...
Don't you know we're a perceptive lot?
So, from your insight, it appears that he wants you to get away from the dog so that he can kill it. He seems very intent on killing this furry animal, and the furry animal seems very intent on not getting killed.
I'm pretty sure he's trying to kill me. I don't know why, but he wants me dead.
I'm going to raise my crossbow. I'm assuming that's what I have. I don't have the character.
Yep, you have a light crossbow.
And I'm going to take a shot at this mofo because, I mean, he nearly scorched one of our own people and is clearly delusional.
Do you want to use sharpshooter?
Oh, hell yes.
All right.
I am going for the kill here if I can.
Go ahead and roll with your -5. It would be a d20 plus 5. It would be plus 3, but you got the archery combat stuff. Oh my God. Oh, he's going to have such a bad day. All right. Well, go ahead and roll me 2d8 plus 13. Okay, so that is going to be 22. So he is going to lose concentration on fly. Let's see if... All right, so he plummets from the sky as he gets hit with this crossbow bolt. That is going to push him to bloodied. And you will see him drop as he is falling the object that he was holding in his other hand, which appears to be some kind of red bead. And when he hits the ground... the bead explodes into a massive fireball that engulfs him completely. Well, so much for being able to kill all of you.
Wow,
He's
bro.
definitely not going to be killing that dog, because that is it for him.
Man's just made out like a
Nice.
stormtrooper on a speeder bike.
Someone should go make sure he's dead.
When the blast of fire clears, there is not much left except for a sizzling corpse that smells slightly like a Monster Hunter character would be hungry from the scent.
I'm going to pet the dog or the wolf.
Hold up. I know how to do chest compressions.
Chest compressions, chest compressions. Yes. The dog will happily lap at your face, and it seems extremely thrilled to have just had its life saved. So, hey, congratulations. You already killed a powerful mage. Good job. Nice shot, Kevin. Jesus.
I mean, if the shot and the fall wasn't enough, the fireball beat definitely was.
Yeah, that took him that shot took him pretty low already, and then he hits the ground with the beat of blasting. I'm like, yeah, dude, you're done. You're just done. There's no way.
Unless we pull out the "Are you a god?" and his head pops up. Actually, yes, I am. Flack.
Is there any, I want to look over the wolf. Is there any, like, collar or Any kind of identification on it that it might be a different than a normal wolf?
No, it looks like a relatively normal wolf. You're fairly sure that it might be part of a sled team or something like that because it has the markings in its fur as if it used to wear a harness. But it doesn't appear to be wearing a harness or a collar. If it was part of a sled team, and it was from the Lizardman tribe, they probably wouldn't wear collars like people collar their pets and stuff.
Give them a little ration.
As interesting as this all was, I would say this is our cue to leave the area, because if people are getting hungry enough to just start hunting down pets for food, things are about to get bad. We want to get back to the boat before we get left behind.
Well, let's search this area with haste then and get moving.
Yep. Fortunately, as you search through the area, you do actually find something interesting. A old stone idol that appears to still be intact. You've seen these things go for between 500 and 3,000 gold if they're sold to the right collector. So, cha-ching!
Well, I can now crawl inside a bottle of booze forever.
Let me go ahead and bring you all back to the main page, and this is where your characters will come in. That went a lot faster. I had figured that we were going to get into a little bit more combative element there, but no. Kevin was just like, boom, headshot, you're done. Get out of here. Fortunately, the crew of the IEV, which stands for Independent Exploratory Vehicle, Elmander, ready to go at about the same time that your boots hit the deck. You are the last group that is leaving, and only the two remaining individuals, a water genasi and a local, are staying behind to guard the camp for when people return. It is not going to be long before this place is completely overrun with ice, and you are happy to be getting out of here under the power of one of the few powered ships. It sports a gnomish engine, which supposedly allows it to transport all the way back to the main continent in only 37 days, rather than the normal 4-month journey that it would take other sailing vessels. So this has been most of your voyage so far. You are about 4 days in to your roughly 33-day journey, and the storm has not let up on a single day. Has left you with little to do, except for count your lucky stars that the ship has a decent store of food. However, Squish, you have noticed something odd. Despite the fact that the creature that the crew brought on board has all of the hallmarks of a normal wild wolf, it acts much like a far more domesticated creature than you would expect. And it has barely left the side of Steady Hands Sophia and Iron Heart Isabella since you came aboard.
I'm assuming that there were blankets for the passengers.
You have a cot, and it has on it exactly what you'd expect. One of you has a pillow, and two of you have a blanket.
Well, I can guarantee you Squish would have claimed a blanket. So basically
Squish can
wrapping
stay
the
here.
blanket around.
Squish didn't claim a bucket?
Squish has a bucket as a bed, but they are using a blanket for when they're not in bed. Grabbing a blanket, they are going to wrap it around themselves like a cloak almost, and walk over to the two individuals and the wolf.
Well, you're currently in the stateroom, so you'll have to probably go find them.
Yeah. Well, she's gonna go try and find them. Where is
Door's
the
right here.
door? Out the door.
I'll go with you.
Thank you.
I don't want you to get into trouble.
I'm gonna look around. for another crew member, hopefully in the hallway here.
Nope. There is nobody currently in this room as you poke your head in. All of the
Am I able
lights
to tell
on board this vessel are actually run by some strange power called electricity, something that the gnomes have been able to power a large amount of things with using the crystals which the engine runs on. There is a light coming out from underneath this door as well, and you hear the sound of someone flipping through a book. You can also see up ahead of you, there are two people sitting in the galley, and one wolf, as Eagle Eye rummages through the cabinets. The wolf pants happily as Steady Hands continually pets it on top of the head.
What time of day is it, roughly?
Now, you wish you knew. If you look outside, it is pitch dark. You're in the constant roiling darkness of being underneath massive clouds. You haven't seen the sun in 2 days.
I'm gonna walk up to Steady Hands and go, "That's a nice animal you got there. Where'd you get it?"
Oh, I thought, well, he's not mine. We found him when we were out exploring. When we found the and Ironheart is going to look over and kind of like make a cutting motion with her hand. When we were looking around in the ruins.
Insight to try and catch that attempt to withhold information.
Sure. Unfortunately, that one slides by you, and she's definitely hiding something, but you're not sure exactly what.
I'm gonna assume that I'm more enamored with the pretty puppies with the pupper that I don't really catch it.
Oh yeah, most like.
You say you found it?
Oh well,
Like,
more like he found us.
huh? Just wandering around, eh? Poor guy. I guess someone's lost his now.
All right.
Sarah will
Didn't
pull
have-
up a chair.
What was that?
I'm pulling up a chair and sitting down.
All right. Harrow, what would you like to do? Are you having problems getting out of the door? Lucidum?
Yes, I do not seem to be able to get out of the door, but
There we go.
there we go. The group that showed up late with that wolf are kind of catching my eye. I want to see if there's any way I can notice if there's anything weird or strange about any of them without them really catching on. Sort of a, kind of investigatory here.
All right. Go ahead and roll investigation and see if anything catches your eye as you're watching the crew act a little bit off. You're fairly sure that Squish has discovered that the wolf is quite fluffy and worth petting. What does draw your eye, though, is in the background, Eagle Eye appears to be pulling out some kind of tripe from beneath the cooking station. And when no one is looking, is shoving the occasional handful in his mouth while pretending to still be searching for something to eat.
Interesting. Well, I kind of ignore that, but I'll keep my eyes on them and sort of just lean back against the wall here with my arms crossed, just keeping a very watchful eye on this group. Something doesn't seem right to me about them.
All right. Yisul and Furlough. Is there anything the two of you want to do? You're still back in the room here?
Isul has just kind of stumbled out of bed, and he's, still not used to this whole being on a boat thing and the electric lights and their buzzing, preferring the ground under his feet. But he sees Haro going up towards the hall and just kind of follows behind, curious.
Okay. Burlow has a little bit of a kleptomania problem.
No
So
way!
No.
I'm shocked. What madness is this?
Greasy hair as fleas kind of evade his fingertips, and he starts running all over the place, searching for everything and anything he can stuff down his pants.
All right. Well, you
I'm
find
thinking
a
other
handful of
than, like,
embers from that brazier in the corner.
I don't know if he's gonna do that, but spork, spoon,
Hey, you can't blame a DM for trying, right?
candlesticks, like anything that he could possibly sell for even a copper, he's putting down his pants.
All right. Now, well, you've got a couple of tools over here. You got a shaving straight razor. You probably want to make sure that doesn't come out.
Yep, that's going down the pants.
Shaving kits.
Yep, take that too.
Unfortunately, the only thing that you find in either of these chests is a whole lot of nothing because they were put here for you to be able to put your stuff in.
Gotcha.
You do
All right, so he's
find
still
5 silver pieces tucked away in the corner here by the chest,
Oh.
though.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Those are pants bound. All right. After a few moments, Edmund is going to slide over into the chair here. He's going to lean over and start conversing generally with Ironheart. Asking her if she thinks this voyage is going to make him any coin. And Ironheart will, of course, give him no words in return because she's trying to keep things quiet, but will just give him a sly smile and a slow nod. Not particularly interested in that conversation. Steady Hands is going to rise up. The wolf is immediately, I almost call it a horse. The wolf is immediately going to hop up as well. And we'll follow her as she heads downstairs to the lower level of the ship.
Why is it sailors are always after treasure? There's so many things in the world to get that are not necessarily worth money.
Eagle Eye will just look over at Sarah and say, "Yes, but most of those things you can buy."
Squish is going to literally almost visibly deflate as the pupper leaves the scene. But she doesn't really want to leave like her people that she knows and just wander the ship by herself. So she's gonna just sit down in the chair here and kind of just almost just melt into it, becoming little more than a puddle under, like a lump underneath the blanket that she has wrapped around her,
All right.
and is very visibly just pouting.
I think your friend melted.
It happens.
Eagle Eye will take out a small strip of jerky from one of his pouches and will start trying to make a game of landing it inside of the coiled up blanket and plopping it into the squish.
The game doesn't last long because as soon as he's rubbing it towards Squish, a pseudopod reaches out, grabs it, yanks it back into the blanket. You just hear, followed by a petite just burp.
Sarah's gonna walk over and kind of look at the cabinets that Eagle Eye was looking through, and without touching them, just kind of see like, is it all disheveled or is it still organized?
It looks fairly disheveled. He didn't take a particular amount of care towards rummaging through it. The flashes of light from outside of the large window and the glowing light up above will illuminate the inside of the cabinets just enough for you to be able to tell that if there is a cook here whose responsibility it is to take care of the galley, they're going to be pissed when they find this mess.
I'll make a snide comment about, oh, a dirty place leaves a lot more work for there to be done in the future. And I'll just return to my chair, kind of glaring at Eagle Eye.
You didn't leave it messy, did you? And Eagle Eye will kind of scratch the back of his head. You know Salty Sam's going to have a hell of a time. And he will kind of grumble and toss another piece over towards Squish before he comes over and starts trying to write things in the cabinets.
As the jerky is tossed on the table, another pseudopod just comes out and grabs it, almost like one of those little coin boxes you see where a hand reaches out and grabs a coin. Same motion, just very quick, yoink, yoink, and it's gone. And it's just gone.
And it's gone.
It's a game. Let's play.
Like depositing money in your negative bank account. And it's gone.
If anyone wants to play that game, Squish is all too happy to play.
The door will swing open, and a olive-skinned, raven-haired woman will come out of the door and head into the room. Did I hear someone mention my name? Eagle Eye is going to hurriedly continue trying to stuff things back into their proper place before Sam catches him.
Merely just trying to protect your kitchen from, hands.
Oh. I don't think we've had the chance to meet. She will stick out a gloved hand that is missing its ring finger. Salty.
Sarah will reach out and shake Salty's hand. I am Sarah. I am a priestess of Our Lady in Silver.
Ah. Well, that would explain why you didn't make the obvious joke of trying to introduce yourself as sweet. Thanks for that. She'll take a seat.
I bet you get that joke a lot. That's kind of funny now that you say it.
Oh, yes. All the time. Everyone thinks they're so clever.
I mean, this one's just a pile of goo, and I'll point at Squish.
Well, long as he eats, she eats, it eats.
It, that, she, not sure.
All right, Furlough. You have stashed all of the objects that you can find. There's a couple of rooms, at least, that you could go through. But you might have to sneak if you want to do that. Harrow and Yisul. Harrow, you're just still hanging out and kind of watching the progression of things in the room?
Yeah, I'm just kind of hanging back and keeping an eye on everything. Not doing anything particular, just kind of observing and staying vigilant.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. Yisul?
Though I went up and took a chair, Isul is just kind of quietly or just casually observing the conversation as he looks around. Still confused by this newfangled boat.
The lightning flashing and the rain pattering against the windows definitely doesn't help.
I'll tell Salty. This storm is a rough one. I have not seen Salune for many days.
Indeed. I'm sure the tears are still there. Sometimes, in these storms, you don't see them for weeks at a time. But eventually, they always come back. All right, Yisul, go ahead and give me a perception check as well.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
I definitely don't seem to have drawn much interest in this.
Nope. It takes a few minutes, but eventually, you do hear a thump from downstairs. And steady hands comes back up, trying to dodge her feet around the wolf that is constantly getting in the way as she carries a crate.
Do you need a hand with that?
I think I'm gonna roll a dex saving throw for her. Nope, she gets tangled up as the wolf moves around in front of her excitedly, and she trips. Then the crate goes flying into the air.
I'll jump out of my chair to try to help, but obviously I'm not going to catch it in time.
You can roll a dex save if you want to try and catch it. Oof. Nope.
Can I try to catch it?
Yeah. Nope. You're. Yeah. The only people that are really in range is Yisul, Sarah, and Squish. You catch it and bear it to the ground as it tries to flatten you. It's fairly heavy, but not extremely heavy. You do soften the blow enough that it doesn't smash open, and you hear the clinking of a dozen bottles rattling around inside. Oh, I am dreadfully sorry about that. Ironheart will just laugh. Good thing they call you steady hands and not steady feet.
I think your friend there did not want you to drink.
Either that or he has a taste for the good stuff. Thank you, Squish, is it?
Yes. She kind of squeaks out as she has assumed a roughly cube shape underneath the heavy crate and is propping it up.
I'll lift the crate up off you.
uh,
She literally bounces back into shape, kind of, and pulls the cloak over her, shivering slightly.
Well, I was going to offer a drink to all of you. I suppose now I'll have to also thank you for saving the drinks for all of us.
I'll set the crate down on the table here.
And she will pop open the crate and pull out some bottles of port.
I didn't even know the ship was in port yet.
Oh, trust me. The captain makes sure that we're never out of port.
I thought sailors drank rum. Do you have any rum?
Oh, port's rum fortified. It's the only
Oh, well,
it's the only way to keep wine good for a long voyage. Else it turns to vinegar. Or it turns into really good wine and then it's wasted on the people like us. She will laugh and then pop a cork on one of the bottles to take a swig.
Squish kind of looks at the bottle almost like dumbfounded, like she's never actually used one, and just holds it up, giving the most pathetic puppy dog eyes possible. I've never used one of these. And she kind of uses a pseudopod to gesture to the bottle that she's holding.
Steady Hands will step back over and will lean up against the wall between the two windows as Ironheart pries you of how to properly handle a bottle.
I guess Squish will try and you do a strength check to open the bottle.
Okay.
This should be fun. Because guess what my dump stat is?
Charisma. Nope, it's strength. All right. With a great deal of effort, you manage to get the bottle open. Boop.
Squish's face just kind of like slides over the bottle and she proceeds to enjoy her sippies.
Can I get me one of those?
Oh, of course.
I proceed to plod on over and grab a bottle, then kind of settle over near Squish for a sec. As a goo person, how'd you manage to catch that so good? I just don't know how you do it without getting butterfingers.
Squish's head has at this point completely enveloped the bottle and she's drinking from it from like inside her own head. And she just kind of shrugs and goes back to her sippies. Very much enjoying them.
Isil just goes back to a chair and pops open his bottle.
I'm going to turn to Salty and ask, do you know about how long we still have left before we reach land?
Likely a good month before anywhere worth stopping at. Or,
Seems like
I mean, if we have a really bad voyage, we might end up stopping long before we want to.
seems like we're going to go through a lot of port between now and then.
That's why I grabbed the first crate. Might as well introduce you to the good stuff while we still have it.
I'll walk over and just pick up a bottle for myself and, go to chugging that while also keeping an eye on things.
All right. You pop yours open, and it smells quite fragrant. Almost flowery and fruity, much more than you would have expected from a drink like this.
Yeah, I'll take a sip and enjoy it and I guess just kind of enjoy it and enjoy the notes of it and the smell.
Ironheart, Salty, and Steady Hands will see you take a drink from the bottle and enjoy, and the Steady Hands will kind of reach a hand up over her mouth for a second, say, "Oh, whoops. Some of the captain's special reserve made it in there." Ironheart just shrugs and says, "I won't tell if you all don't."
Mum's the word.
Harrow, is it? Would you mind pouring out a glass for all the rest of us so we can all enjoy it just a little?
Sure, but you're not missing much. I've had stronger wines in a communion.
Ironheart's just gonna laugh and say, I'll join that religion. Captain Blacklace has some good stuff. She will retrieve some cups and then head over.
Yeah, and I'll walk over and pour a few snifters of it there for everyone to just take their fill.
Squish will disgorge the bottle currently in their face and set it down, noting that it's actually just incredibly clean. There's no residue or anything on it, and will then hold up a small, like a shot glass, basically going sippies.
I just kind of chuckle and pour her another round through that.
Kind of grows a mouth, tosses it back, and just goes, tasty. And then shuts the bottle back into her face and keeps going on that.
Well,
guess
I'd better check on Cannonball. Ironheart is going to take one of the bottles and head downstairs. You were saying something, Peter?
Oh, I was just saying. I guess Edmund finished cleaning up the kitchen and headed upstairs.
He better have. There's all that Salty's going to say when she heads over to take a look.
Squish is gonna kind of wobble at into Salty's direction and go. Speaking of food, is there any available?
I usually prepare 3 meals, but I have some fruit left. Here's a fun
I could
one.
go for second breakfast.
She'll pull out a object that kind of looks like a pear, except for the yellow of it grows into a few green spiny points that aren't actually sharp but are rubbery. West Coast dragon fruit?
Squish will study it for a second, shrug, and then basically her whole head will envelop the hand and pull back with only the fruit remaining in it, leaving the hand again clean.
Salty's eyes open wide as you envelop the fruit and her hand. And then as you slide off of it, she gives kind of a shiver and then looks her hand over to make sure that everything's still there.
Don't worry, you're not hand-fasted yet.
Reminds me of a horse eating an apple.
As she does, as she continues, you can see within her she's mixing the booze and the fruit and just dissolving it slowly.
Sarah's going to get up and just kind of look out the window at the endless sea.
You get to see the smallest bits of light floating off into the distance off of the vessel. And as you lean up against the edge of it, you can hear the soft and constant thrum of the engines. Harrow and Sarah. Let's do perception. Harrow, you've felt the engine pretty much since you got on board. The thing is constantly running. As you're leaning against the wall here, kind of just enjoying your bottle and investing yourself in all that's around you, you hear a kind of rumble in the engine for a second. The vibration in the ship shifts, but then it goes back to normal.
Huh. I think we're slowing down, guys.
I hope not. Probably at least a couple of days from even the nearest ice islands, much less any actual island.
Something weird's going on with the ship's, whatever's making this thing move.
I'll go check. And steady hands, we'll head downstairs, and as the wolf goes to follow her, she'll say, no, stay. And then she will disappear downstairs. The wolf flops down on its haunches and kind of just stares down the stairs.
Squish walks over to the wolf and makes like a looks like a jello mold imitation of it and plops down next to it.
That's an adorable image.
It is.
Oi, that's a good input. That's that in person imitate. That's a good copy.
The wolf will kind of tilt its head slowly to the side.
Meanwhile, the goo wolf lifts his head and goes, "Oh, you should see what I can do at parties when you get a few more bottles in me."
Salty looks around at the room full of adventurers. None of you are any good with machinations, are you? No artificers?
Not that I know of.
I know I'm supposed to just trust Cannonball with that thing, but I mean,
You think something is wrong? Should we check on him?
he says that he knows all about the gnomish machines. So he grew up with a friend of his. Helped us acquire the parts for it when it broke down, but sometimes I think he believes that he knows more than he knows. You know how men like that can be.
The goo dog nods and goes, "If you like, I can go check on him. I mean, I'd be able to help with the engine, but I can make sure he's okay."
Sure. I'm sure if anything was going really badly, that, well, you'd probably know. And she gives kind of a slightly nervous chuckle as she goes back.
If you can have another one of those fruits waiting for me when I get back, I'd really appreciate it. And at that, the dog gets up and is gonna move towards the engine room, basically,
Well, let me see if I have some more.
or just anything sweet. I'm really not picky.
I've got some, these crab apples look good. They're just starting to go soft.
Ooh, yeah. Save me a bunch, and I'll be back.
All right. She'll
At that,
set 3 of them aside in a bowl.
Squish is gonna move towards. I'm assuming the stairs here lead down, correct?
Yep.
All right.
Is Sarah heading down as well?
Yeah, I'm bored. I'm gonna follow Squish.
All right.
I mean, if he's hurt, you can carry him probably better than I can.
Strength is my weakness. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll reluctantly follow behind them as well, just kind of dragging my heels and keeping my distance from them in the back.
All right.
Squish, can you see down here? It's lit, right? This is a lantern or a light, whatever.
Yes. All right. Let me grab Harrow real quick. There we go. You head down into the hold. Yisul and Furlough are staying up on the, I guess, second floor? First floor?
Yeah.
Basement?
Yisul's just trying to distract himself.
Drawing and trying to avoid thinking about the constant swaying. Were you able to find yourself, Harrow?
Oh,
On the ship? Right here?
yeah, I see it.
Sweet. The stairs head down into the hold. And as you are moving down, something strange will happen. As suddenly, you are standing in a forest.
Huh?
Looks around in utter confusion. Nani?
I didn't know boats moved by way of tree.
I mean, they're made of wood, but
Yeah, normally they don't. That's a new one for all of us.
I mean, my old master had a. Yep, that was grown rather. You know what? It's not important. It wasn't like that.
I'm gonna put my hand in this bush.
Okay. You brush your fingers through the branches and come back with a small bit of red liquid streaked across your gauntlet. You squished a raspberry.
Interesting.
I'm gonna look behind us. Is the way we came back look the same, or just like gone?
It does not. As you look back the way you came, it looks like there's a little path that leads up back where the wall used to be. Yeah.
Something is odd here.
You feel
Sarah's
like this
gonna
should
draw
be
her
the
shield.
stairs, but okay, you pull your shield out.
Squish is gonna assume her humanoid form and draw her club, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, this is weird already. I'm going to definitely pull out my hammer here and just stand at the ready, looking around as much as possible to see if I can make out anything or see if this forest of ours is an illusion or fake or whatever it is that we just stepped into.
Okay. Go ahead and roll investigation. It looks extremely real. And you just watched as Sarah moved her hand through the bush, and you didn't see it like waver as it brushed through it. It actually looked like she ran her fingers across the branches. But as you look down, you notice that the tip of one of your boots is stuck inside the rock that you're next to. A clear sign
God.
that this is something illusionary.
Oh god, we're in a Bethesda game.
Damn it, Todd Howard, you did it again.
I don't know.
All right, that is very strange.
You're awake.
Pretty sure rocks are supposed to be solid.
Sorry.
Well, we're in a forest, and I don't know what Haro knows. I'm going to move around the bush that's in front of me and try to explore a little bit.
Okay. A pair of small birds will flit out of this bush here and fly up into the branches of this tree, disappearing. Yeah, wasn't KFA all the keys and
Like all the gears.
yeah, keys Flamo. There we go. The area seems to be interactive as you move through it. Although you will definitely notice if Harrow says anything about the illusion.
Yeah, I definitely like point that out. And I'm like pretty sure this rock is supposed to be solid. Anyone know of any rocks that are not solid? Squish, is this part of you left behind?
Squish like literally turns around and looks at her own ass and tail and like cranes her head all around. Nope, I'm all here.
Are you still cold?
Still does feel
That is an excellent question. Am I still cold?
you feel warm until you really think about it, and then you feel kind of chilly, but you're sure you should be warm. You're on a sun-dappled trail in a sunny day. It's very conflicting and confusing. Your body's confused as to whether you're cold or nice and warm. And Sarah,
Eyes go like the size of dinner plates, kind of literally, and goes, "Nope, nope. We are getting the others. Nope, nope. We are going back, getting help. This is fucking weird."
all right.
And she is gonna like walk towards them and get others.
All right. You walk forward another 5 feet and you trip on the stairs and splat against them and have to kind of climb up and feel your way through the stairs as you climb up into the air.
As soon as I like my head pokes up over the threshold, I'll go, "Guys, you really should come see this."
All right, Sarah, you're fairly sure as you're moving forward, despite the fact that you can hear the grass and dirt crunching beneath your feet, you also hear the familiar sound of your boots moving across wood, almost like they're echoing into each other.
I don't like this.
What are you doing, Harrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk a little further into these woods that may or may not really exist and just sort of like see if I can get my bearings, see if I can figure out exactly what's going on here a little better, and just like see if I can hear or see anyone or anything. Like, we saw birds, but I'm guessing there should be other wildlife and stuff if it really is real woods.
Yeah, possibly. As you look to far north here, you think you see the tail end of some kind of fluffy small creature. Maybe a badger, maybe a really fat squirrel, who knows?
Interesting. So I'm gonna like point that out to Sarah and be like, I think there's something up ahead.
Well, if this is fake and we're still in the storeroom, where do we go from here?
All right, Squish, you called out for Yisul and
Aye.
Furley?
I called out for anyone who was within earshot. Like I was like screaming at the top of my lungs, but I was definitely being loud enough where people could hear me.
So what I gotta see?
All right, you will head down the stairs and into a forest.
Well, this is a little weird, but it's a damn sight nicer. At least I know dirt. At least it looks like it.
You're floating in the air.
Yeah, but look at all of the dirt down there.
It takes you a few moments of slowly stepping down the stairs to get out into the room proper, but then you are here, and that illusion is definitely there. As you are investigating and continuing to move forward, you will find that quite suddenly you're back in the storeroom.
No more forest, huh? I don't see Cannonball either.
No, but there are several doors down here. There's a pair of doors on the northern side, and a single door on the southern side. To the south, you can hear the sound of what appears to be mechanical parts moving and the occasional hiss of smoke or steam.
Well, that's probably where they are. Shall we go that way?
Might as well. Something forest for the trees.
I
I
mean,
think we're out of the woods now. I don't know. One of these. We're in a weird situation down here.
Knock on the door.
yeah,
All right.
you can do that. I'm just gonna try and like figure out what's going on with my brain, with my non-existent brain here.
Steady hands.
Them noises sound.
Steady hands will open up the door, and you will see that she is in here next to the crystal with Cannonball Charlie. Ah,
I'll say, hi. Sorry to bother you. We heard some noises, and then we came down, and there was a giant forest.
Yeah, what was in those drinks?
the one that most of us had, probably just the wine and the rum. Oh, but we did have a bit of the captain's special. I don't know what's in hers.
Because we've seen some things down here, things that should not be here, like an entire forest.
Not like creatures, right? Just like you said, a forest.
Birds,
Like
It's an
animals.
animal or
birds.
two.
Oh,
Yeah, but
okay.
nothing like, and it wasn't like, okay, somebody brought a bunch of trees on the ship. It's like, no, we walked down here and we were no longer on the ship. We were in a forest. Are there any illusionists on board having a laugh, being bored maybe?
Not that I know of. I don't think that. Yeah, Wilfred isn't with the crew anymore, so shouldn't have anybody throwing around things like that. He claimed he was. He claimed he was a master summoner, but I swear that he was just cheap parlor tricks.
Who else is on the ship? We passed a room on the way to the galley that was occupied. Who's in there?
That would have been Salty Sam's room. Oh, unless you mean the one on the other side.
Yeah.
That's Stormbringer.
Who now?
Stormbringer. He's dark elf.
I haven't seen him yet. That must be who it is.
Yeah, he's
are we
usually
the
up
only
on.
adventuring
He's
party?
usually up on deck during the storms. He likes to stand out in them.
Is there any other adventuring parties here? Maybe one with an illusionist or a maid?
We wouldn't have room for another one unless we stocked them up in the storeroom. You don't exactly stack like cordwood.
Well, you don't. I probably could. Maybe.
Well, yes, you probably could. Most of them can't, unless they're dead.
I could use a whole stack of wizards. Them trees was nicer.
Which just kind of like looks back at you like, are you? Never mind. You guys didn't happen to pick up any weird trinkets or stuff on the island, did you? Maybe something that's magical that you didn't know was. Could be something as simple as a simple bauble, or who knows what.
Steady hands and Cannonball will kind of share a glance. All of you that are here and watching this interaction, go ahead and roll insight. Harrow and Squish. Before Steady hands and Cannonball give you their simultaneous answer of nope, no, not anything, no, nothing. They share a conspiratorial look that tells you there is definitely something. As for what it is, you're not sure. And you're not sure if the privateers that you've hired to take you back will allow you to press them for more information about it. They seem pretty tight-lipped.
I share a conspiratorial glance at Squish and give them a slight nudge. I think we'll maybe see about poking around sometime once the crew has gone to bed.
Yeah, they do mostly stay up during what you would probably assume are the daylight hours, at least the lightest gray. There's always someone awake, obviously, but all but two of them do sleep through the night.
Squish, however, before turning to the door, well, if you think of something that maybe your mind has slipped, keep this in mind. Me and my party are not here to take whatever you may have found. We don't operate like that. However, if it's a potential danger to us in the ship, knowing about it would be helpful. So maybe rack your meat brains and see if you can think of something.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan. I'll ask around and see if anyone else picked up some trinkets while we were there.
Much appreciated. We don't really know how to run a ship, so it would be a bad idea to mess with the crew.
That's true. It's not really our cup of tea.
Oh, aye. You would not want to be stranded out here. Best thing that happens is you manage to drift to an island. Worst thing that happens is you drift into an island, and then you don't got no ship.
Exactly. So if you talk to the other crew members and maybe they know of something, let them know that we really don't want to take what they have. We just want to make sure it's not going to kill us all.
That's a fair thing to say. Cannonball is going
What's that?
to rotate a couple of the wheels that are next to him, causing a soft hiss to release out of two of the spinning cylinders at the back of the vessel. And then Steady Hands will step up and, with a gentle smile, will close the door.
I'm gonna head back up to the galley.
I'm going to head back up, and when
Haro.
Haro-
Yeah.
Yep. Harrow
Nope, Haro.
and Yisul, you're heading back up as well?
Yeah, I'm heading back up.
All right.
Yeah.
once we're up board, I'm going to motion for Haro to follow me back to our private rooms and try and talk to her a little, without other potential ears hearing.
The wolf comes out and winds around the tables before heading up the stairs.
Wait, was it down here with us too?
No, it came out of the hallway here.
I'm gonna go back to our room, and kind of just drag Hera with me,
Yep, guess I'm coming along.
and I'm gonna motion to shut the door behind us.
All right. Yisul and Sarah staying out there.
Are we being invited back with them, or are they leaving without us?
We're gonna sit there and go. You guys, it's been a long day, and there's really not much else to do other than eat up what little supplies we need to make last. Why don't we try and get some shut eye?
It's probably for the best.
Come on, Yisul. I
Uh,
know how you get when you're cranky and overtired. Come on.
Salty is going to call out to
Shush.
the two of you as you head down the hallway. He's going to say, dinner will probably be ready in maybe a couple of hours. And she's going to run down past Yisul and is going to hand 3 apples to Squish.
Are they apples or crab apples?
They're crab apples. They're slightly soft crab apples.
Squish will literally do the same thing with the bowl that she did with the hand of just engulf the entire thing and pull back, leaving only the clean bowl. And then smile with the 3 apples sticking out of her mouth, almost like overgrown teeth, and nod in appreciation.
Salty will laugh at the expression and say, I'll make sure to fill up a few more. Apparently, we finally have somebody who likes their fruit. And then she will head back to the kitchen to continue cooking.
Squish will then happily, almost spit all 3 in the air and just gulp them down one by one. Yes, 100%.
That's great.
Which is going to make sure that once everyone's accounted for, that the door is shut. And we'll look over to Harrow and go, so we agree that they're lying, right?
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. Illusory forest, and these guys are definitely hiding something. Whatever's going on at the bottom of that ship is not what they're telling us.
The question is, they obviously found something. When I said that, they perked right. So the question is, what did they find, and how do we find it? Because what they found could be either stashed away or on their person at all times. If it's stashed away, we might have a shot of figuring this out. If it's on their person, well,
Anyone able to detect magic? Maybe
Yes.
maybe someone can sneak. Maybe we can sneak down there when the crew has hopefully gone to sleep, or at least most of them have, and see if we can detect anything. I mean, with an illusion like that, something's going on that's definitely magical and not normal.
I
I
have
100% agree.
detect magic, but they said there was no illusionist. That doesn't mean there isn't someone else who could use the art.
Well, and I'm starting to think maybe it's not a person, but an item. The way they're acting, they obviously found something on the island. The question is, what did they find, and could it do that? Honestly, if it just creates an illusion like that, if it just makes an illusion like that, that's really not a big thing. But if it can do that, what else can it do is the real problem.
I don't know, but I can also smell magic a little. Kind of like tasting colors.
Oh, yeah, you're a wild magic barbarian. So you've got the, what is that called? Magic awareness. Nice. So yeah, between some detect magic and magic awareness, if you think there's something weird going on, you could probably find some things out.
So then the question is, how do we go about the searching of This is not something I am particularly good at.
Squish, how squishy are you exactly? Any chance you could slip between the cracks of a door or something like that while we distract the guards? Or maybe you distract the guards by slipping into somewhere you're not supposed to?
I mean, as long as you hold my stuff, sure.
I mean, the ship wasn't that heavily occupied. There was a few people here and there, but I don't think it'll be that hard if we just walk around looking normal.
It's a fair point, too.
I don't know that they'll let us search around in that mechanical room.
Can you try and get room back? Squish is gonna say I can squeeze into just about anything, but if one of you's willing to hold my stuff, just point me at a door and I can get in it probably.
All right. I mean, I say we go back down there and see if we can get Squish to just sneak into that engine room for us.
Yeah.
Anyone else think that's a good idea?
I mean, the engine room, if it is running off gnomish magic and there's these lights that work without fire, they probably have magic in there. I don't know that detecting of magic is going to be all that successful. There's probably magic on purpose.
That's a good point. I guess it can't differentiate.
While I can detect the magics, I'm not as great at identifying them. I'm not a wizard.
Anyone else have any good ideas?
Nope.
The crew members definitely don't know anything about a forest appearing, so that's definitely something they've not experienced.
Or they aren't telling us about it.
I think it would be fairly hard to hide something like that from us when we were the ones that encountered it.
Well, the snowmush stuff runs off of this not magic lightning, right?
Well, it looks kind of magic to me. I'm going to, in response to that, just tap one of my uses of magic awareness while looking around at the lights and stuff.
Seems like magic. I definitely don't see fire there.
Yeah, but if it was magic, they just call it magic. They wouldn't call it something else. Then again, it's gnomes, and gnomes are gnomes, so maybe, I don't know. Also, apologies, guys. I'll be back in Roll20 momentarily. When Nugget got loose, he got tangled in the cord and pulled the power strip from the wall. So, yeah, I'll be there.
It sounds like the pig said no.
Well, the pig's not in charge, and
Try telling him that.
The pet is always in charge.
okay, granted, but in this case, no, he is not. Well, until our DM gets back, I don't know exactly how to proceed here.
Oh, it's obvious. We flame strike the entire boat, and then no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, when in doubt, cast Fireball or Magic Missile or something, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm putting that all up as a message.
Fortunately, I can still hear you when I step away. All right, so you tap a use of your magical awareness, and you are able to see that the fire in the corner, that is actually quite natural, and you have to feed with the small amount of wood that has been given you to heat this nice stately room, is not magical. But both of the lights that are powered by the ship, in fact, are.
Whatever these gnomes are using is the magic. Wonderful. I guess we can just hope that whatever is caused that illusion can it shines brighter or is more visible than the lighting.
Well, maybe a walk around the ship then. If you give me about 10 minutes, I can prepare my spell and cast it without losing too many resources.
You can tell, Yisul, that the magic that is in those lanterns is evocation magic.
Evocation.
Yep, they're using this.
Light up a room. No.
They're evoking something for it. That's a little.
That's like gnomes. That is all I can say is fucking gnomes.
Those of you who understand magic and would have knowledge of the light spell would know that evocation is, in fact, the correct school for the light spell.
I have the light spell.
So there you go. You could even cast it. Although it does seem rather more subdued, since now you understand that that's a light spell. Either it must be modified, or it's not quite as bright as you would expect it. It should be giving off about 40 feet of light, 20 bright and 20 dim, but these seem to only be giving off about half of what you would expect.
But they're likely somewhat permanent, right?
They haven't flickered or gone off since you've been here. So did you guys want to go ahead and take a few hours of rest, see if you can get the crew to bed down, and then rummage about the place while most people are sleeping?
Yes.
I think that's the plan.
We should probably eat dinner so as not to seem off. But yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You eat dinner, and it is a fairly unobtrusive meal. You eat it mostly by yourselves, Sam having moved out to go ahead and bring the food to the rest of the crew in their differing areas of the vessel. You do run across Goldfinger's Garrett, the Dragonborn of the crew, who stays normally down below the decks, keeping stock of everything as the quartermaster. And you do see Captain Blacklace and Sea Star Serena as they come down to pick up their food and then head back to their room up above.
Am I able to try and run and grab the captain's attention real quick?
You can certainly try, but you will also get Serena's attention as well.
I mean, it's worth a shot. Squish will kind of glide over to the captain and go, excuse me, Captain, quick question.
Hi, how can I help you, Squish?
Oh, I didn't know you knew my name. Anyways.
I make it my business to know the name of anyone who comes on board my vessel.
Run a tight ship. Got it. Question. When you went on the island where you got us, did you guys find anything?
Oh, a lot of people trying to flee and get away from the incoming winter storm. All of them except for you all, taking other ships out of the port. A few nice rocks that we left behind on the docks because none of them seemed to be of any worth.
Did you guys find anything of potentially magical?
Magical? And I don't think so. If we did, I would hope that the crew would have let me know about it.
I only ask because earlier we ran into a very strong illusion on the engine deck. And us considering that none of our party is able to produce that, and according to what the crew told us, nobody else on board can do that kind of the magic. We're thinking maybe you picked up something, maybe a seemingly worthless yet pretty trinket that might be more than it seems.
Or we could have a stowaway on board.
I'd not consider that. That's not. Regardless, this was rather powerful illusion magic. It made it seem like we stepped onto the deck, and instead of there being a ship's deck, there was a forest. And I don't mean like, oh, somebody brought a bunch of trees on board a ship. No, I mean like forest far to the horizon.
Yes, that would be a
Complete with
rather harrowing
sunlight.
experience.
Yeah, complete with sunlight and animals.
Sorry, Lucidum. I couldn't control myself.
Well, it was certainly harrowing for our hero, that's for sure.
No kidding. My foot went through a rock.
Well, considering you're an adventurer, I wouldn't put it past it as the capability, but usually you leave a mark if you put your foot through a rock. All right, well, I will go ahead and ask around to the other members of the crew, see if they found anything of note. And if not, well, I wouldn't think that anyone would be foolish enough to try and stow away on board and then give themselves away with some kind of illusion, but...
Unless the illusion wasn't intentionally cast.
They
Maybe they're a powerful yet inexperienced caster.
They did mention, actually, that they ran into one of the locals, one of those Frostborn lizard men. They had a rather eventful encounter with him where some shots were exchanged, and he blew himself up. Perhaps
I'm
one of his
assuming not
fellow...
intentionally, like the last ditch attack.
Perhaps one of his fellows has attempted to sneak on board the ship to issue some kind of vengeance. I'll have my people stay on high alert, and if you will keep your eyes open as well, then hopefully we will all make it to the end of this journey safely. If they did sneak on board the vessel, I fear that they will be grossly outnumbered and shocked at how far away from home they are, should they decide to damage it in any way. Even they should not be so foolish.
Well, assuming one of them was attempted to blow themselves up to take out your people, that worries me.
Oh no, actually, Steady Hands shot him with a crossbow bolt, and he ended up throwing his fireball at his own feet in the attempts to hurl it back toward them. Hazards of breaking
Ah.
your concentration, I suppose.
I mean, getting hit with a crossbow bolt will do that.
In any case, I am going to eat my meal. You should all do the same. And then we should keep our eyes open. Well, I'll put an extra person on watch and see if we can catch anyone skulking around. If you see
Much
anyone or
appreciated.
hear anyone moving through your own room, please let me know.
Agreed. The only other thing of note, if for some reason one of your crew did smuggle something on board, maybe worried about having to give more than a share, let them know that if they do have something, that we have no interest of taking or keeping anything of value. Our primary concern is to get back to shore alive, and I doubt we could do that by waging war against you and your crew.
Indeed, it would be a very cold journey. My people go by privateer rules, so finders keepers, I believe, is what they call it. And we have agreements between us on when we go out. If we find something, then we all share it equally. So there shouldn't be any expectations of loss on our side. I will impress upon them that there should be no expectations of loss on your side either. If they brought anything on board that may be magical or might cause harm to the vessel, I would much rather have it investigated by people who are used to delving into ancient ruins that blow up adventurers who try to do so. And that is a job for people like you. And she will squish a finger into Squish's nose.
Squish makes an oddly cute squeeze sound as she is effectively.
I don't want this.
Cute.
I don't want this to get cold, and you shouldn't either. It is rather brisk outside. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, and I will speak to my crew and speak to you all on the morrow.
Sounds good. Much appreciated, Captain. And with that, Squish will happily get in line to grab her meal for the evening.
A fairly thick vegetable stew with a marrow broth is what's on the menu for today.
Squish proceeds to drink it by elongating her face into what amounts to a straw and slurping it up that way.
Welcome to the evening. It looks the same as the morning and the afternoon. Giant dark clouds, rain crashing down outside, and you investigating any weirdness on the vessel. Fortunately, there are rather fewer individuals to worry about now, although one more than you had counted on. You are free to move about the cabin as you wish.
Squish is going to ask that somebody come with her to watch her back as she attempts to squeeze into the engine.
Well, hold on.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Let me ritually cast my spell before we go.
Yeah, you can keep that up for, what is it, 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
All right.
100 rounds. Awesome.
We're going to put that
Decent
good
time
old
to keep it up.
concentration marker up. So, who all is heading out? And are you all traveling together, or are you splitting up? Like, what do you want to do? Squish and
My vote is-
Yisul are going together.
Harrow's coming with him.
My vote is never split the party. Just saying.
Seems fair.
Also, yes.
All right,
I
Harrow,
think
Sarah.
it's easier to explain why we're together than if we were separate too.
Yep. Furlough, are you going with the group as well?
Sure, why not?
All right.
Now let's do
I
this all
look at
sneaky
Furlough.
like.
I look at Furlough and go, been rather quiet, Spital. This seems kind of sus to me.
Oh, I've been having conversations with my pet fleas.
What are they saying?
Okay, you're crazy, not sus. Got it.
What was that, Yisul?
I want to know what they said.
Well, we were having a conversation on whose pocket we were going to pick first. I was thinking that squishy one over there looked kind of ripe.
In chainmail, Sarah is not even trying to sneak at all. Just walks right up.
Maybe a giggle in character.
All right. As you move up past the two rooms where you can hear soft snores coming out of one of them, you will see that the resident Dark Elf is actually present. He is, to the eyes of some of you, leaning up against the wall in a relatively dim corner of the galley.
I'll wave my hand at him.
He doesn't respond. He doesn't turn his head to look at you or even lift his cloak as you move into the room. The closer you get, the more you realize that he is actually in the midst of reverie. He is sleeping, leaning against the wall, in the darkness like an edgy boy.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna look back to the rest of the party. Is this a elf thing or this dude thing? I don't really know much about elves.
Shh, he's trying to sleep.
I know. Let's make all quiet like that.
Leave it
Furlough
easy.
starts rubbing his hands together because he's already looking at the mark with anticipation.
Do you want to pick his pocket?
Absolutely.
All right.
You're playing a literal murder hobo, aren't you?
I mean, he has a home for right now, so he can't be a hobo.
Hey, my fleas
I was
would
gonna
tell
say,
you that
sounds
that's
more-
gentle as a soul.
I was gonna say more like a larceny hobo.
I'm going to glance around with my magic-looking eyes to see if I see any magic.
The only magic that you see is a small glow coming from over in the kitchen.
I'll kind of casually head in that direction towards the kitchen.
All right. Furlough, go ahead and roll your sleight of hand if you want to pick this guy's pocket.
All right. Do I need to also use my bonus action to cast fast hands on that too, or no?
Sorry, cast fast hands? Like what?
Yeah,
Is it a spell?
fast hands. Yeah.
No, it's not a spell. That just allows you to use fast hands as a bonus action. So you can use your thieves' tools to disarm a trap or open a lock or take the use an object action. Allows you to do more with your cunning action than other rogues can.
Excellent.
You will find that he doesn't carry any coins.
Does he carry anything else?
He does. He carries 4 gemstones in his pocket.
I'll take him.
All right. Write down 2 onyx gemstones and 2 topaz gemstones.
I just look at the freaking murder hobo and go, if you get caught, none of us are gonna come to your aid. Just you're on your own, buddy.
How loud are you saying that while this guy is sleeping and getting his pocket picked?
Yusel just shrugs.
Sarah's busy looking at whatever's magical in the kitchen.
It's one of the knives.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'll leave it alone. I won't say anything to the either.
It has an aura of enchantment magic around it.
I want to investigate whatever this is, see if there's anything to steal.
There's a whole bunch of loose objects.
All right, let's fill my pants up. Let's go.
Okay. Are you guys going to wait for Furlough to fill his pants up with all the loose objects in the room, or?
No, he finds out he's on his own.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like edge past him and continue with the rest of the party.
All right. So you guys heading downstairs?
Yes.
All right.
That's the plan, right? Yeah.
Let me go ahead and move everybody over here, and I will bring you downstairs while Furlough fills his pants.
I got me a diaper compartment to hold all the good stuff.
You all head
I just-
downstairs. Into the
I just
hole.
hope he's smart enough that those pants are padded so they don't just like clang and jingle as he walks around.
What type of thief do you think I am?
No, it's his,
Of course they're padded.
it's his brass balls that clang as he steals from people in the middle of his entire group.
Okay, great.
Yep,
I'm just guessing, but these lights are probably evocation magic like
that is
the
correct.
others.
Except for this one, which is illusion. No, just kidding. It's evocation.
Oh! Since this is where we saw the forest, I'm going to kind of walk about halfway up the room and look around.
All right. Yeah, you don't see any objects that are standing out. Obviously, there's lots of crates and chests and stuff, though. Lots of things to see through. And it, unfortunately, if it's behind total cover, you won't be able to see it. It's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. So inside of a normal crate, you would be able to see it. Did you get stuck in the bathroom? You got stuck in the bathroom. Sorry about that, Harold.
Really had to go.
So you can see any things glowing through like a wooden crate, because obviously it's not 3 feet thick wood on a crate. But if it's inside anything metal, it'd be a different story.
Conceivably, they could put it in like a small, like metal, like jewelry box, and that would probably block it, huh?
Sarah will turn around and look at the party and just kind of shrug her shoulders.
Also, if they've hidden it, then you may actually need to search in order to find it.
So, what do we want to do if we want to quietly search?
You would roll search, and it'll take you twice as long.
Yeah, I'd say like everyone should just take a corner and search around.
Yeah, you got 2 sets of shelves up here and 1 set of shelves over here. How do people keep jumping into the? Oh, because I didn't put doors on the bathrooms. Okay.
You hear plopping sounds. No, I'm just kidding.
Aw. If it was Riley,
What do you roll for search?
Investigation.
Yeah, okay.
I'm assuming that if there is something to find, I find it.
Yes, in fact, all 3 of you find items.
Except
Yisul,
her.
yeah, all 3 of you, the 3 of you that rolled high. Yisul, you are going to find 3 pieces of star rose quartz, stashed away in a bag here. Squish, you're going to find a flask filled with some kind of magical liquid. As Sarah sweeps her gaze over it, the gemstones unfortunately aren't magical.
I look at the flask, kind of disappointed. Aw, no vacancy.
And Sarah, you find a small stone statuette. The statuette seems to be magical, and so does the liquid inside the glass flask. Do you want to continue searching?
Does anyone want some shiny rocks?
I'm gonna kind of wave at Squish and ask Squish to come closer to me with the flask without saying anything. I'm like using hand signals.
A pseudopod, like, just brings it over while Squish is going to continue searching the shelf for anything else.
Okay. It is enchanted with evocation magic. Seems to be very common on this vessel.
What about the statue?
Go ahead and roll Arcana, Sarah.
Oh, this will be good.
You never seen a potion like this before? Maybe someone else might be able to identify it.
I'm like, yep, don't drink it. It's bad.
Do any of the other people who are present here have Arcana?
Not very good, but... Oh, wait, no, I don't have it. Sorry, brain.
Oh, you are experienced with traveling and have seen magic items in the past, so it's possible you may have seen a potion like this. You can roll even if you're not proficient.
Oh.
Yeah, sounds fun. He'll take a look at it.
Right. Harrow, Yisul, and Squish. You have actually seen a potion like this before, Yisul. This is a potion of fire breath.
It's what makes you breathe fire.
Unless it's the item we're looking for, let's not take it. So unless we're looking at something with illusion magic, put it back where you found it. That includes any shinies of any sort, and she glares at the murder hobo.
You can't see the murder hobo.
You can't see the murder hobo. He's still upstairs murdering and hoboing.
I'll hand Squish back the potion.
Squish is going to put it right back where she found it and say a prayer to all the good and non-evil deities that she can think of off the top of her head that murder hobo isn't here. And when she glares, she's glaring through the floor at him.
He still puts the shiny rocks he found back on the shelf.
I want to look at the statue.
All right, Harrow, go ahead and give me another searching roll as you rummage through some of the shelves up here. And Sarah, you said you were inspecting the statue?
Yes.
It is enchanted with conjuration magic. There appears to be an inscription on the base of it. The Activation Psalm.
Interesting.
What's he got there?
Can I read the inscription?
What languages do you know?
Common, Celestial, and Primordial.
Oh, yes you can. It is in Terran.
Is it like magic speak, or is it actually like a prayer of some kind?
It is a prayer of some kind. It is, "Come ye forth, brothers of rock," and then 3 times it cycles around the back, and just says, "Rock and stone to the bone."
Do I think that this might conjure some kind of stone creature, maybe? Based
That
on.
logic would follow. Harrow,
Well,
do you want to give me that investigation check?
Yes, no problem.
And Squish, go ahead and give me another one as well.
I'm going to return the stone to where I found it. It obviously didn't create the forest.
All right. You find an assortment of different minor gemstones. Squish, azurite, hematite, lapis lazuli, malachite, moss agates. About 24 of them, maybe 25 in all, but not what you were looking for. None of them are magical.
With a heavy heart, with a heavy sigh and a heavier heart, Squish will put them back all where they were found.
Okay. Lucidum. Harrow is going to find another magical potion, as well as discover wrapped up in this bundle here, a magical axe.
Ooh, fancy and shiny.
It is a hand axe with dwarven runes carved into the head of it.
I guess I'll beckon over our relative or our person who knows a few things about magic items and see if they can maybe identify these. Or
All right, go ahead and roll Arcana. Sarah.
it's not me. That's definitely not me who can
Yeah.
do Arcana.
Yeah, definitely. And then Sarah, once you see that potion, you know exactly what it is. That is a healing potion. The bright amber liquid gives it away instantly. Looks to be a potion of superior healing, in fact.
I'll just say that's a potion of really good healing.
We want to slip this into someone's bag and take it with us, or we want to leave it where we left it?
Well, Squish has been encouraging the group to leave behind the things that they found that are not what they're looking for.
We're not here to steal from the ship.
It's not stealing; it's liberating.
Do you
And
want
it's
to?
only stealing if they find it. If they find out.
Do you want to tuck it away in your bag, Harrow?
Yeah, I'm just gonna slip it into like my pocket there.
All right.
I'd like to search around here.
Go ahead and roll investigation. And Sarah, I'd still need that Arcana. Looks like you're gonna need Yisul for that one. Yisul, unfortunately, the only thing of interest that you find in here is a fishing rod.
I'll put it away and walk over there.
I'm gonna kind of search in this back corner area.
Okay. The sounds of 2 sets of deep rumbling snores come from the door directly to the north of you. How the 2 of them manage to sleep while they're both snoring so loudly is beyond you.
It's actually pretty easy if you both snore. Just pro tip.
All right, Yisul, go ahead and give me an Arcana as you're passing by Harrow with the axe.
I don't know nothing.
You know, it's got some kind of enchantment on it, but you're not sure what. Sarah, give me an investigation. You find an engraved copper ring set with a dragon scale and a copper mask that also has dragon scales set into the edges.
I'd like to see if they're magical, and if they are, try to see what school of magic.
They don't appear to be magical. They look like art objects.
I'll put them back and continue on.
Squish, as you are searching your way through the room, you eventually come to this area where you find an amulet. Plain silver with no gemstone, just engravings on its surface.
I wave a tentacle to get Sarah's attention and hold up the amulet like, hey.
I think it's a toilet paper roll. No, I'm just kidding.
It appears to be enchanted with abjuration magic.
It is.
That's the magic that cancels other magic, right?
It's a protection item of some kind. I don't think it would have created a forest.
The 2 of you and anybody else who is present can roll Arcana to see if you might know something about it.
I can and will.
All right. Sarah, you're fairly sure that this is the kind of enchantment that one would use to prevent someone from using divination. A lot of the runes are runes of reversal. Probably something to prevent detection.
Okay. I think this helps you to hide from other magics. But again, does not create a forest.
No, but that's a step in the right direction, I think. That feels closer to what we're looking for.
I'm gonna hold on to it, and if anyone points it out, I'm gonna tell the captain, "Oh, I found it on the deck. Just give it back." My main thing is, I'm thinking if there's a stowaway, we wouldn't want it to have this.
Probably a fair idea.
In fact, I'll probably bring it to the captain come morning and go, "Hey, we were looking to see if maybe we could find something on the ship, and whether or not we found it, we did find this, and if there is a stowaway, we definitely don't want them to have this." You know.
All right. All of you feel a subtle shift in the vessel. Go ahead and roll perception. Or if you are proficient, you can roll survival with advantage instead. So Harrow and Yusul will both be able to tell that you have actually sped up slightly and shifted directions. Yusul will be able to tell you the additional information that you have shifted toward the east, and that one of the motors or engines or whatever manner of gnomish locomotion is moving this vessel is now pushing it to a slow and steady turn to the right, as if the left engine is pushing more strongly than the right. And you hear a hiss come from the door to your south.
Hey, Sabbath, none of this is good. We're going right, like, turning right, slow, like, we're going east now.
Well, maybe there's a reason, but just to be cautious, I'm going to draw my shield, and I think we should open this door.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw my club.
Yeah,
I want
I'll
to point out I have
pull
no weapons in my hands, just a shield.
Gotcha. Harrow, are you coming
I'll
down
pull
as
up
well?
my
Or are you gonna hang out
warhammer.
back there?
Yeah, I am coming.
Yusul, you said you're doing what?
I'm just gonna grab a hold of my warhammer while we try to sneak a peek into the engine room.
Okay. So you guys aren't throwing open the door. You're going to try and like crack it and peek inside?
I intended to open the door.
It sounds like Yusul wants to try and just crack the door a little bit and look in, which you can do. It's just a stealth check. Do you want to take a peek first?
What if there's someone in there?
I mean, there probably is, but we're not exactly being stealthy down here.
Well, you haven't done anything outright yet,
Snow
and
has covered us.
the hum of the engine might have actually cloaked you from being heard by someone who's inside the room. They might not know you're here.
We don't
I'll
want
defer
get
to you.
found when we're not supposed to be. At least that's what they said, right?
I'd say stealth is probably the safer option if we don't, unless we don't want that option.
All right, who is the stealthiest one of you? You're upstairs.
Yep.
I got a +4.
I got a +1 and +2 survival, so not great.
Okay. All right, Yusul, go ahead and roll stealth. You have advantage because of the... Oh, it doesn't matter. Because of the hum of the engine, you actually have advantage. As you crack the door open, you will be able to see that there is, in fact, someone inside of the room. Steady Hands is using her steady hands and is shifting a set of levers. You'll watch as she pushes one of them to almost the maximum, causing a slowly rising whistle to come out of the console, at which point a hiss issues from it and blasts hot steam that punches through her palm and causes her to yank back her hand with a sizzle. And you will watch the hole in the center of her palm close back up, just like when Squish gets something plopped into her.
That's Squish is gonna motion to shut the door and everyone to try and back away.
Oh, what a perfect time for a phone call. Okay, well, we've been going at it for a few hours. Let's go ahead and take a... What do you guys say to a 15-minute break?
All right.
That works for me if it does for everyone else.
All right.
Sounds
It's okay for me.
Hey, it's evening. You know, stretch your legs a little bit, grab a bite if you haven't, things like that. And I will see you all at 10:25 Eastern Standard Time. I hope you all are having fun. I'm looking forward to what comes next. We're on a 15-minute break until 10:25, so feel free to take a bio or grab a bite to eat or whatever you wish.
10-4.
No, 10:25. Thank you, thank you. Sorry. I'm an idiot.
That would be 3:50.
And it was about that time that I realized that the wild magic barbarian was actually a 35-foot tall creature from the Mesozoic era.
And I said, God damn it, Loch Ness Monster, I ain't giving you no tree city.
Yisul had just seen a rather strange sight as he peeled the door open to poke his head through.
Oh, also, while I was poking my head through with that, can I use my other use of magic awareness?
You certainly can.
Since it only lasts a few seconds on what I can see that isn't under total cover.
Yep, and it doesn't take anything to activate, I don't think, right? Like no verbal components or anything like that? No, you just have to concentrate, it looks like.
Yep, just in action.
Okay.
I guess you didn't hear it. Maybe I didn't unmute my push talk, whatever.
Hello?
But I would have poked my head into kind of craning my neck, long boy style.
Okay. You do realize that you are going to have to roll a stealth as well, if you want to do that, or you can leave it to Yisul. That's definitely something that I would have wanted to know.
Okay, then if that's the case, I'll just leave it.
You're going to do it or no?
I said I'm going to leave it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
All right, I'll attempt to quietly close the door without being noticed and back off.
You are able to stealthily back away from the door without issue. Steady Hands does not seem to have seen you.
I'm gonna motion to the party that we should all probably get back to bed and deal with this in the morning.
Did we see any like actual like blood or anything, or was it actually truly like Squish, where it's like a a membrane of goo or whatever?
Yisul had a pretty good look. Did not see any blood. It was as if the blast of hot steam just punched a hole through Steady Hands' hand, and then it closed back up.
Now that lady is it so a word? Kind of reminds me of you, Squishy. She like got a hole in her hand from the thingy she was working on. Anyway, and it just kind of closed up. No blood, no nothing.
Squish is very, very upset by this. And is gonna just go, I think we should just all go back to bed. Keep one eye open. Deal with this in the morning when others are up.
Well, hold on. What is this thing then? What kind of creature could do that?
Would I know? Probably good question.
You only got secondhand knowledge of it, so you can go ahead and roll history with disadvantage.
I'm proficient.
Squish would be able to roll, not anybody else.
Well, I mean, hopefully I could pull another crit out of my ass. It can happen. It won't, but it could.
Squish probably stores crits somewhere. Ass might as well be one of them.
The 3, unfortunately, will net you no information. Could be all kinds of things. Could have been a burst of steam that disrupted an illusionary form. Could be alter self or polymorph, or could be any number of creatures. There wasn't any silver blood, so it wasn't like a doppelganger or something. So that worry at least is set to rest.
So again, let's go back to bed, keep an eye open, and deal with this in the morning.
Well, hold on. The ship has been turned, though. This shouldn't the captain be aware of this?
All right, let's go see the captain.
I
Quietly.
mean, do we know the captain didn't order it?
I mean, if so, then it'll be fine, right?
Yeah,
Good point.
I mean, we can just say, "Hey, we noticed the ship turning," and if the captain's like, "Oh yeah, I sent someone to do that," anyways,
That's a good point.
now should be a good idea.
All right.
Quiet.
Also, I don't remember if you said, but when I flashed the magic awareness into the engine room when I was looking, did I see anything out of the obviously magically?
No, the crystal and several of the consoles had a glow of evocation magic, like you would have expected, but there was no glow on Steady Hands.
Okay.
I guess that takes regeneration out of it. Oh, at least the regeneration spell.
Well,
Or illusions.
whatever she did, it also weren't no magic. I don't know what it is.
Again, I'm going to insist quietly that we alert the captain of what's going on.
All right. Is anybody staying down here, or are all of you going upstairs?
Do not split the party. Do not.
Yeah, coming up with Squish.
All right. We'll go ahead and move everybody up to the next floor then.
Ain't it already split?
Yeah. But I mean, Damonos has basically just been shoving stuff in his pants the entire game, so he
I see
has
some
moved over to the
computers that have
kitchen
my
now
name on them.
and is cramming the preserved meats down his pants now.
I have no problem sharing with everybody if you get hungry later.
I take it he's not being stealthy at all about it, huh?
He doesn't have to be. Only person in the room is apparently asleep.
Yeah, you know what? We are 100% going to go get the captain.
All right.
You were going to drop Trow and change into not filled up Trow when you come with us.
But that wouldn't stop me from.
I think as we get like maybe within 10 feet or 15 feet of Furlough, I'm going to just cautiously advise him that there's a trapped knife over there somewhere. I don't know what it does. So
Furlough, are you going to be coming with the party, or are you going to stay here and continue cramming stuff down your pants? There are still numerous objects. You haven't even gotten to the fruit yet. There's vegetables up here. There's a rutabaga. All right. I'll move you guys up.
Oh.
And up the stairs you go. All right. You emerge onto the upper deck. The twin doors here head outside. And a single axe, a couple of crossbows, and numerous bolts for loading the ballista stand nearby, along with a couple of spears. Mello, you probably want to reselect your speak as to your character. So, you got two doors, both alike in dignity.
do we know approximately where the captain's quarters are? Like a back deck of the top floor, I guess?
I mean, it should be. If this is the foredeck, then captain's quarters would probably be in the aft.
All right, I'll open the store. Into the storm.
Into the storm, indeed. As the door cracks open, you will see that one of the people who is still awake is Cannonball, who is standing just under the awning as best he can, outside of the captain's quarters, with the wolf sitting next to him. The wolf is quite soaked, but looks like it doesn't care, probably because it's used to an Arctic climate anyway. But the cold, driving rain out here is definitely enough to frustrate anybody. Above you, the sails swing. They are bound up, obviously. In the night, they don't want the sails to suddenly catch in a different direction or get harassed by the storm, so they move only under engine power. You were saying something, Sarah?
Yeah, I was. I'm gonna kind of put my shield over my head a little bit and come out into the rain, and I'll wave my other hand at Cannonball as I come out.
Okay. Cannonball is human, so he is not actually able to see you.
Oh well, I tried. I'm gonna proceed probably at like half speed across the deck so I don't slip and fall and injure something. It looks like I'm gonna have to go around this grate because I don't want to slip in that either.
Yeah. All right. Does anybody want to light up a torch or anything like that? Give yourself some more light. There's also a door over here if you want to open that up. That's next to this light source.
I'm gonna not try to shield myself at all and just try to walk up following Sarah.
All right.
I'm going to light up a torch if I have one. I assume I do.
Yeah, you probably have one. You were up there to Excavate ancient ruins. Crack open the door, and there you go. Harrow, you should be able to see a little bit better too now that there's somebody nearby with a light source.
Yep, I can see.
There we go.
I will also light up a torch, though, just to be able to fully illuminate our deck here.
Hopefully, at some point, Cannonball Charlie will see me waving at him, but we'll see.
Now is when he sees you waving at him, and he raises up a hand and goes, "Yo, wet night!" And he will come over, trying to stay in the narrow area of slightly less rain beneath the canopy.
I'll come closer so we don't have to yell.
The wolf is going to move back into the corner to take his dry spot for a little bit.
As we get closer, I just want to be like, is the ship supposed to be going east and still turning right a little?
I'm not the navigator or the captain. I've no idea. I fire the ballista and muck around with the engine on occasion when something doesn't rattle quite right. Serena and Captain Blacklace are in their room. And he'll jerk his thumb back towards the door.
I'll be like, well, your friend is down there playing around with levers and switches in the engine room, and we're pretty sure the ship is turning.
Friend, what? What? Who?
Oh, that what you call steady hands girl.
Steady hands? She doesn't know anything about the... Let me get the captain. And he will go over and bang on the door several times. About the second round of slams, we'll finally get a reaction. And the door will swing open. Captain Blacklace and Sea Star step out, shielding themselves from the driving rain. Tell her what you told me, and he'll motion the group over.
Come under the overhang here. Put my shield down so I'm not like trying to glare underneath it.
Harrow, Squish, are you two coming over, or are you going to hang out up there?
Squish is enjoying the wet weather.
I'm going to come over towards the rest.
All right.
And we'll give like a
So
30-second synopsis of what we saw, or what the... Actually, I didn't see it. I'll let him say it.
when we woke up, see, we felt the ship would turn. It seems to be going east. I didn't know if it was supposed to. And that steady hands, the person, they in the engine room.
Captain Blacklace is just going to kind of shake her head as she steps out into the rain. Steady hands shouldn't be playing with the console at all unless you're down there, Cannonball. I know, that's what I said. I can head down. Do that. He'll start heading that way.
Real quick, before you go,
Huh?
there was something else that you might want to know. Unless you already know.
Captain Seastar is going to try and get everyone's attention. There's, you said east. Like, east? How hard? How many degrees?
Squish is gonna just kind of, from her perch in the rain where she's just being wonderfully moist, is gonna say, well, I don't know about degrees or any of that, but it was a pretty hard bank to the east. Also, can steady hands grow back hands?
What? No, she can't. But, Captain...
Because she just did.
The only thing that's to the east are the Fragment Islands.
Well, I don't know about that, but steady hands grew back a hand.
Cannonball is going to reach out and grasp the railing and peer out. He turns back to yell, but is nowhere near in time. Not that there is anything that any of you could have done to stop what's coming. There is a crash, a cracking sound that hits so deeply that you feel almost as if your entire core has been rocked by the impact. Fortunately, you're on the deck when it happens. Some were less fortunate, as the ship's turn brings it directly into a massive pillar of ice in the sea. And everything goes black.
Can I describe what Squish does when she starts to feel the impact?
Sure.
She falls to the deck. Literally, like collapses entirely into as flat a surface as she can and clings to the deck.
All right. Well, you go spraying off of the deck like a hurled bit of liquid from a flask.
Yeah, I'd rather grab a rope or something. 3-point stance. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt.
When you come to, you are surrounded by a blizzard. And the things that you are able to make out in the cold terrain that is around you are not particularly promising. The Elmandar has been completely cracked in half. Bits of it are scattered about in the snow. Well, the snow is falling fast enough now that at least some of the pieces are being covered. You're not sure how long you've been out, but it's probably part of your instincts that has allowed you to wake up at this time. Because as you awaken, you find other things in the snow. Bits of bone surrounded by slime. It looks just enough like Squish for you to make a comparison, but Squish has no bony interior. These things, instead, look far less cuddly and far more malevolent. They plop up out of the snow, and you can see the twisting surface of the ooze trying to reshape itself into members of the crew. But the cold is not doing it any favors, causing the ooze-like skin to crackle and break. Sea Star Serena's body lays nearby as Steady Hands pries up partially out of the snow, her skin breaking away into this cold ooze surface. Ironheart, likewise, melds out of the water, and Eagle Eye leaves his face completely behind and instead embraces his ooze-like form. They need a little bit of warmth, and the nearby warmth is you. Everyone roll initiative.
Make sure you select your token first.
Aw, I wasn't done stealing those potatoes.
Fortunately, I rolled really, really low on my damage, so you all didn't take that much from the crash, which I was surprised because that was a lot of dice and that was a lot of ones. All right, Harrow, you should be over here in the east, and you can see one of these spawn popping up out of the south. Its body dripping fur. You're pretty sure that this thing was once a wolf, or at least had the form of one.
Yeah, well, now it's real ugly, so I'm gonna grab my warhammer in both hands and charge towards the thing.
All right. So you're prone right now. You will have to get up, and that'll take 15 feet of your speed.
So I probably cannot reach it there, can I?
No. I do not.
All right.
believe so. It's
Instead,
45
then
feet
knowing
away.
that, I'm gonna pull out my light crossbow and try and plug it.
All right. All right. That will strike the creature. Do you want to use your movement to go anywhere?
I'm gonna edge closer to it here so I can get in there. Like when it, knowing it'll get closer to me, of course. Looks like it's probably gonna charge in.
Oh yeah. And it's its turn next.
Great.
It's going to go ahead and schlorp on over in your direction. And I'm going to give you the pseudopod. It's going to lash out with one of its pseudopods. And you can feel the psychic aura come off of the creature as it lashes toward you. But it cannot make contact.
Oh, good.
Spawn number 2. Let's get squishy with Squish. Squish, 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 squish. It moves toward you. This one is close enough. It's going to squish the squish. I like squishing the squish. What can I say? All right, you are going to get...
Yo, dog, I heard you like squish and squish, so we give you a squish to squish, more squish.
You're going to get slapped for 6 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of psychic damage, Mr. Squish. Story of my life. Everybody blames me. Sarah, go ahead.
I'm going to stand up, which eats half my speed.
Mm-hmm. I'm not using any of my variant rules, though, by the way, so you don't have to worry about it consuming your speed for the whole thing. I didn't want to have to show the customized rule thing for everybody just for the one shot, so we're just playing normal D&D.
I'm going to bonus action, Radiant Soul, and fly up 15 feet.
All right. Man, it was It broke my heart when you were like, I put down my shield, and I was like, oh no, that shield's fucking gone.
And then for my action, I am going to guiding bolt this guy.
Okay, this one right here.
Yep.
Okay, give him the pew. All right, Blau. He is
Hey,
going
it's
to go
something.
ahead and take 12 points of radiant damage. And he is lit up like a Christmas tree and ready to get shot.
That's it for me.
All right. Furlough. You will just watch the deck explode around you just as you were reaching for those taters. And now you're out in the cold water, prone, bobbing around like an apple, waiting to
I'm
be
going
picked up by some kid at his birthday party.
I'm going to swim to shore. How many movements is each square?
So for you right now, you were in the water, so that'd be 5 feet, and you can pick yourself up from prone now that you have ground beneath you.
Yep.
So you are at. You still have 25 feet left. Each of these is going to be a 5-foot square.
Okay. I'll use my cunning action to hide.
You're in plain sight. You don't have
Is-
anything to hide behind. There's numerous monsters that can see you.
So no sneaking.
No, you have to have a place that where you can't be seen to effectively hide.
Okay, then I will dash.
All right. Squish over here is getting squished, so
So I have 30 and I used how much?
15 or sorry 20.
20.
So if you're using your cunning action to dash, you actually have 40 left, so you can very easily get there. And then you're gonna stab one of them.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Give him the stab, boss. All right, that is gonna hit. Go ahead and roll your sneak attack damage as well, because you have an ally within 5 feet of it. You squish the squish that's trying to squish. Yisul.
All right, I'm gonna get up from prone, use up 15 movement there, and then I'll move up 15 feet to this slime here.
Yep.
And with taking advantage of my long limbed, I'll schmack two-handed with my war hammer at it.
Sounds like a plan. That is gonna hit. That connects. I'm gonna take 13 points of damage as you smash into it, and you watch several of the bones inside of the spawn just crumble.
All right. Am I able to use the remainder of my movement, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Then I'll just use that to walk back here again.
All right. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get squishy with it.
Na 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 na.
Na squish. All right, I'm gonna move up here. I'm gonna give you the squish. That's gonna be a miss. That's gonna lash out at you and do nothing. Now let's go to squish.
Squish is gonna throw down her club and her whatnot and go.
Your
You
Titan's coming
disappoint
through,
me.
Lucidum.
Squish is gonna sit there and go, "You disappoint me," and grow arms, lots of arms,
Okay.
and they are going to Hunter's Mark.
So wait, where did you get Hunter's Mark from? The
Faye.
E ability?
No, Faye something. It's a feat.
Faye
Fey
ancestry.
touched. Fey touched. Okay, there we go. That makes sense. All right. So you'll Hunter's Mark it, and then you're gonna whip a fist at it. The one that was damaged, right?
Yes.
All right. So your swing is gonna miss, as the ooze will wobble out of the way. But it does have Hunter's Mark on it, and you are a monk. I don't
So
think you have a
take an
second
extra
attack yet, and you used your bonus action, so I think for this round you're out of actions.
I am for this round, yes.
All right.
But next round, I'm gonna bitch slap.
Stand
him.
up.
Oh yeah, and I stand up.
Good idea. Don't let them have advantage. Yisul. You will see to the south of you a bit of the water and a bit of the snow hisses and boils off as a large roiling slime full of skulls and other bones of consumed creatures rises. Ooze forms the musculature that is over each of these skulls, and you see numerous members that are inside of this move out, bodies forming off of it and then freezing and crumbling away back to its main form. A thin tendril of slime can be seen just for a moment, trailing off between this and the creature that is in front of you. And you see whip coils streaking out in that direction as well. They're thin, very thin, but they are definitely there. This appears to be the host creature, the puppet master. And it is going to ooze in your direction. And this one is going to go ahead and squish on over here. It's going to keep on squishing. And we go back to Harrow.
All right. Well, one is still squished up near me, so I'm going to now double hand my warhammer and try and beat the thing fucking to a pulp, or more of a pulp.
Yep. I'm gonna
Whatever the pulpiness is of a slime.
slightly increase the pulpiness level of this slime. Change it from viscous to puree. Set the warhammer to puree.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. That is going to land. Oh, the warhammer is set to puree.
Oh, yeah.
Splats. And you will watch as this thing gets sprayed across the countryside over here.
Nice.
That's amazing. Did you want to use any of your movement to move toward other creatures and engage them, Harrow?
Oh, yeah, right.
You still have 30 feet?
Yeah, I'm gonna... I guess I can't see anything else in my general vicinity.
There's some to the north of you, up here.
All right, I didn't see
Sarah
anything
is
either.
flying over them. And then you did see the rather large creature rise up over here. The ship looks like it's completely blocking your line of sight, but it isn't. There's fragments and pieces. You can see through it to the other side in places, and you can see the massive, roiling, glowing red ooze that's moving towards your companions.
Oh, so that's down in the southishness?
That is over here.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try and make my way that way instead of going up here.
Sure. Go ahead and move yourself back to here and go wherever you want to go.
Okay. There, I was there. Right, so this is all like water and ships, so like...
Yeah, over
That's
here,
like down
these squares
this
are going
way-ish.
to slow you down unless you make an athletics check to swim through the frigid water, or try and jump over. What's your strength score?
Pretty high.
Yeah, you got an 18 strength. You could easily jump 3 of these squares. So if you wanted to, you could jump from one side to the other as part of your movement and make it just.
Yeah, as soon as I get down there, I'll do that. But I think I moved about as far as I can right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's go ahead and get our squish on up here. Slap the squish. Oop, that's another hit. You're going to take 5 bludgeoning and 3 psychic. Miss squish. The squish is bloodied. This one is going to move up to engage Furlough as well, because he too wants to get married someday. But we're going to whip the squish. That's a miss. Sarah.
All right. Seeing the bigger one come up and seeing how hurt Squish is, I am going to go 30 feet this way. I am going to... Squish is within 60, right? I think he is.
Let me
just
see.
maybe not, actually, because I'm up high.
Well, it would be... Nope, it's right at 60. Because the,
Okay, I'm gonna...
the diagonals...
Let's heal. He doesn't get the 4 radiant. He just gets 5 healing.
He gets 5 healing and takes 4 radiant damage, so 1, right?
Lol.
All right, that will bring Squish out of the squishy range.
And then for my action, I'm actually, I'll just dash.
Okay.
Because I need to get closer. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Furlough. It's stabby time.
Stabby McStabbins.
Stab him with something from your pants.
A potato.
Wow. Okay.
A candelabra.
Yeah. Pulls out the entire kitchen sink and just annihilates this thing. Flattens it. All right. Gisul.
I'm gonna smack the slime next to me again with my
Schlag.
hammer.
That's gonna hit. Oh, that is a flat slime. Again, with the spraying the slime across the countryside. You have smashed the bones of what used to be something canine. Yep, you got 40 feet of movement. You are ready to rock and
Yep,
roll.
I am gonna go on up here to the squish then.
Reinforcements have arrived, Squish.
And it's like my turn for the moment.
All right.
Can we de-squish our squish if she gets squished?
That's what Sarah's job is.
Right?
You have to unsquish the squish when squish gets too squished from being squished.
There we go. That checks out.
All right. Squish, 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 squish in your direction. And now to the real squish. Fake pretender squishes around. Will the real squish shady please stand up? Your turn, Kevin.
Alrighty then. Well, there aren't really that many left, are there? Where? Okay.
There's a big one
I
down
don't-
here. Don't worry. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Oh, I can't see it. That's why, because it's out of my sight range. Well, for now, this little one's gonna feel the wrath of Sheila.
Are you going to reapply your hunter's mark before you swing, or are you going to use your second action for another attack?
Actually, I'm gonna use my second action for another attack.
Okay, so your first hit is going to hit. Splat. You smack the squish.
That's my second one.
You smack the squish again. Man, you're slapping these
And
squishes.
I'm just gonna reapply the mark. I'm not gonna actually, good.
You can't. It's a bonus action.
Oh, okay. Well then,
You can.
that's all I do.
You can either make your extra attack with your bonus action, or you can apply your mark with the bonus action.
Gotcha. Okay. Well then, in that case, I am just gonna slap the shit out of it.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and my target moved away. Will undulate across the snow, seeking out the sweet warmth of creatures I can consume. You know, I really don't like this lady up here who's casting these spells. I'm gonna go ahead and glow bright crimson for a moment. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw against confusion, Sarah. You are confused.
Damn it! Can I use my inspiration?
You don't have inspiration. We're doing like normal.
I know,
rolls.
I know.
Ought to be fun to see what happens when you get your confusion, though. Spawny time. I gotta get over here, man. And Harrow.
Oh, back up to me. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I can jump. You said this space here.
Oh yeah, you can clear 18 feet with your running jump. So if you're moving, you can leap right across to these ice flows.
So yeah, like I'll do that and then like just get myself up here.
Oh, and dash. All right.
And I think that's in place of an attack, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So just get closer to the group all around.
All right. We'll go to the next spawn. And we'll give Squish the slap. It's going to be a whiff. Oh, that one's dead. Why is he not marked? All right. Sarah, go ahead and roll your d10. I think it's a d10. Yes, d10. 9. You can act and move normally.
All right.
How effective my confusion spell has been.
I'll move to here. I'll drop 5 feet, and I will activate Twilight Sanctuary.
All right. I believe that is 15 feet.
You want to know how big it is? Here, it's a 30-foot
no, it's
radius.
30-foot radius. That's right.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I cast it, man. I'm sad that I don't get to cast it anymore.
And
So
then
that's why
as a
it's so
bonus
big.
action, for what it's worth, spiritual weapon right there.
Okay.
It's going to miss, but, I tried.
Throw out your spiritual ass whooping. All right, where's my... Yeah, we'll do the hammer.
Let Salune's light defeat our enemies.
I'll go ahead and give you control of it. And I'll put your 8 temps in your temp thing. Furlough.
All right. Time for some more stabby stab.
That is definitely going to hit. Why is your sneak attack not on again?
Mm.
I turned it on. All right, stab again, real quick. Yeah, no, there we go. All right, so he'll take 9 piercing and 7 sneak attack damage, which is 7 points too many. Blech. You skewer the spawn and wriggle your weapon around, and you make like scrambled eggs. Is that it for you?
Let's see. Well, who else do we have here?
You can move around and prepare for the big squish. Mega squish.
Yeah, I think I will start to dash this way.
If you get too far away, you will get tip hit points. Just FYI.
Yeah, that purple circle. If you're within that, actually it's 5 shorter than that because you're 10 feet up. But
Yeah.
then you will gain temporary hit points if you end your turn in there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go to the edge then.
Okay, so it'll be like right here.
All right, sounds good.
All right, go ahead and give me those temp hit points.
You want me to roll
Yes.
for?
Yeah, you'll be rolling for everybody at the end of their turns. Good luck. All right, Yisul, the battle is joined, sir.
Okay, so if I can
Cheese.
reach 10 feet with my hammer, whereabouts can I position myself so that I can schmack this thing?
You could easily position yourself right here. The spiritual weapon doesn't take up the square.
Okay. So yeah, you're still going to move over there, and I'll prepare to schmack with hammer. But before I do, as bonus action, I'll be triggering my rage. I'm starting to feel a bit thrilled by the combat, and yeah.
All right. And your rage goes off with the wild magic thinger, doesn't it?
Yes.
When you enter your
So
rage,
I'll roll a D8 for that.
All right, we got a 6. Until your rage ends, you are surrounded by multicolored protective lights. +1 AC, and while within 10 feet of you, your allies gain the same bonus. Woo! Damn, that is nice.
Oh, and yeah, it is. All right, and I'm a schmack with Warhammer.
There we go. Put a little circle around you. If you're in that square allies, you get yourself a little AC bonus.
I'm gonna miss with that Warhammer.
Oh, that is gonna be a miss, unfortunately. Damn. Where is? Oh, I have to turn it on. 1 second. Global AC modifier field. Wild magic. All right, so now you're getting a +1 AC from your wild magic, and it destroyed your normal AC.
Yeah, I don't know why my unarmored defense is missing.
Yeah, 10 plus Dex plus Con. All right, let me check here. Where's the armor class 1? There should just be a toggle for unarmored defense, right?
You have to put the stats in on the gear page.
What? Okay, what's the?
Here, I can.
I've-
Dex and Con, right?
Yes. Oh, custom AC. There it is. All right. I thought you meant you had to make an item for it. I was like, what? I don't remember ever having to do that. Okay, that makes more sense.
No, it's good.
I saw it. So now your AC should be correct. Yes.
Yes.
All right, spawn time. I get slowed by the water. All right, Squish. 7. 2 more of those and you hit a jackpot. All right, Squish, go ahead. This creature might be worth putting your hunter's mark on because that looks much larger than the little squishy guys.
Yep, they are getting a hunter's mark.
All right, slap that down.
All right, so they are gonna slap the shit out of them once because the hunter's mark is pretty good.
Yep. Swing away, Bada Bada. All right, you're going to slap it for a grand total of 7.
I like to slap.
Wait. All right, Oblex time. We are going to go ahead and I slap back.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to reach out and I'm going to slap Yisul. That is definitely going to hit Yisul. So you're going to get hit for 17 points of bludgeoning damage and 4 points of psychic damage. So you'll reduce the 17 down to 8, which is much more manageable. Taking a total of 5 from your hit points and losing all of your temporary hit points. Yay, Twilight Cleric. And then it's going to lash out at you again. This time, its tendril is going to smash into the ground next to you as you dive out of the way. And this spawn goes squish, squish. Harrow.
Where am I? Yep. I'm gonna run up towards the big one and try and smack it with my warhammer. Because the big one is scary.
As you move in, the scent of sulfur wafts over you. It's going to waft a little bit heavier as you smash into it with your warhammer. Go ahead and roll that damage. They're 8. Crunch. One of the heads will be smashed out of the thing's body as you cleave into it with your hammer, knocking a significant portion of that ooze into the snow to melt away.
D8?
D10. Oh, you didn't roll your wisdom save at the end of your last turn. You get to roll a
let me
save
do
every turn
that.
to shake it off. 24 is going to make it.
Oh, that's good news.
These save or suck spells are great, everybody.
All right, I'm gonna move to get more people in my aura. I guess let's go there. And does that get Harrow?
Yes.
All right. Then I'm going to let's bonus action smack it first. Let me find that button. There. If 17 hits.
17 does hit. Slack. Take some force damage. Ow. And we'll go to Furlough.
Oh, hold on. I still have an action. As an action, I'm gonna drop a moonbeam on him.
Okay.
What? No spirit blender?
I'm not that high level yet.
Okay.
I love spirit blender.
Where is my combat magic? There we go.
And now I'm concentrating. And that's it for me.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and use a legendary action to cast one of my fancy spells. And we are going to drop a beautiful, bright, shiny purple 30-foot cube right here. So, wisdom saving throw for Yisul, Sarah, and Squish as you get hit by a hypnotic pattern. Nice.
Sarah's like, no!
Nice nat 20, geez. Yisul is stunned. Squish is stunned. All right, you are charmed for the duration. While you are charmed, you are incapacitated, and you have a speed of 0. And just for those of you who don't know, incapacitated means that you can't take actions or reactions. So effectively, you're just standing there dazzled by this display of magical lights.
Ooh, pretty colors.
All right. Furlough.
I'm going to use the dash
All right.
right there.
All right. Give it a swing.
Do we get 2 turns?
No.
Is it dash in action?
Not for you. You have cunning action. You're a rogue.
Oh. Okay.
You will unfortunately roll a 10. As you slide your rapier into it, you clack against several of the skulls, which push your weapon back out.
Good.
All right. We'll go ahead and add. Oh, he already has 9, so a 6 won't help.
And I'm already stunned, so.
Yep. Someone else can use an action to shake you out of your stupor, but until that point, or until you take damage, you are pretty much standing there. Spawn time.
Yeah, so that's the turn.
Yep. Squish, 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 squish. Oh, Lord, he coming. Squish. Give him his 7 temporary hit points. Same for you. Go ahead and roll the temp hit points for Squish. And we'll go to the Elder.
Otherwise, I'm bedazzled.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your radiant damage for your moonbeam.
Oh, that's a question. Does my hunter's mark still go off? Even though
You're incapacitated, so you are unable to take actions or reactions.
I just want.
But you're not stunned, so you still have concentration on it.
Okay, so the spell still goes off. I just can't do anything else.
Yep. The spell, yeah, you already placed the hunter's mark on it with a bonus action previously. Okay, Constitution save. I'm good at those. I'll roll a natural 20 as well, so I'll take 5 radiant. And you are rude, so I am going to slap you.
No!
That is going to hit. You're going to take 20 points of bludgeoning and 8 psychic.
Oh.
All right, so DC 14. All right, you are still concentrating.
Hey, I have Warcaster too, so I have advantage on that.
Yep. All right, and my other slap is going to go into this this guy over here who just tried to shank me with a rapier. Oh, natural 1. Oh, I whiffed. Oh, Furlough's so sneaky. I'm going to say that the pseudopod smacked you directly in the leg, and it would have shattered your leg if it wasn't for all those rutabagas that were stuffed down your pants. All right, Harrow, you get another shot.
All right. I mean, I guess we're gonna keep whacking at this thing.
Give him the crunch.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna wind up and smack it again.
I mean, just a suggestion: you could try to rouse the other party members, give them a good shake.
Rouse people, bonk things.
Yep. I mean, if as a fighter, primarily bonk the thing, and you're all the way on the opposite side of it.
Yeah, bonking is kind of my prerogative.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage. Ooh, crunch. You will shatter off a frozen piece of it.
Yay.
Smash into it for 12.
Nice.
It is not looking too hot.
Okay, so Furlough is like right next to me on the thing.
Yep, right over here.
And he's doing okay. The other two are the ones that are stunned up there, Yasul and Sarah.
Yep.
Sarah.
Yeah, you can move around it as long as you don't leave its reach, which is 10 feet. You should be able to beat you fine without taking an opportunity attack.
Well, I was wondering if I could like. I was wondering if to rouse them, I could move around it and then like shoot one of them in the foot with my crossbow or wing them or something so that they snap out of it.
Yeah, you certainly could. That'll wake them up.
All right, I'm gonna try and like wing Sarah with like a lightly aimed shot towards like her leg. What?
Sarah's not stunned. She just got the shit slapped out of her.
And I'm flying. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. The other one then.
Yasul?
Yeah.
The one that's raging? All right. Go ahead and roll your crossbow damage. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that hits.
And hopefully don't injure him too much. There we go. Just enough to poke him awake.
All right. You'll take... Oh, that was... Yeah, minus 20. Corwin, good job. Minus 2 is actually what he should have taken. And that will knock you out of your stupor. And it will also keep your rage going. Thunk! Yasul comes out of the stun like, ah! I'm so angry I got shot in the foot. All right, and you're also in the area to get your 5 temporary hit points. Okay. Let's go ahead and... Oh, I can concentrate on more than one of these at a time. Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw, Furlough. Oh, yeah, there's no coming back from that one. Furlough is going to freeze as he is held paralyzed in the snow.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah.
Let's start with the spiritual weapon.
All right, Le Bonk. That's going to hit. Oh, and Squish is not stunned anymore. There we go.
And then I am going to, as an action, healing hands myself.
You don't want anybody else? When you when you get injured, you touch yourself?
when I get injured, I touch myself. It's only going to heal for 2d4. It's not a lot.
I mean, hey, it's better than being face down in the snow.
Plus 10 more.
Nice. All right.
That's it for me.
Furlough, you are held. Roll that wisdom saving throw and see if you can break free from the spell. You're probably going to have a really bad time if you don't. Oh, no. All right. That's unfortunate. Yasul.
Okie dokie. So a little bit miffed by missing earlier and, kind of put off on the idea of missing and getting attacked. I'm going to do a reckless attack and schmack it.
All right. Swing away, Captain. Ooh, that's definitely going to hit. Crunch. Ooh, 14. Damn. Ow. You smash into that thing with your warhammer, causing its surface to crunch and crackle. That's it for you, Soul?
Yeah.
All right. It's time for the spawn. Blah, blah, blah. Finally, I will have my vengeance. It moves up and promptly misses Yisul. Squish! I spent all that time walking over here, too.
Oh.
It's my turn. Finally.
Oh, man. Is this going to be the moment? Oh, no! It's the end! All right. Only one of those two hit, but the Hunter's Mark pushes it over the top, and the creature shrieks as the astral fists strike into it, and it crumbles before you.
I'm going to say that Squish, after being dazzled, just glares at this thing with absolute murderous intent and just fans out all of her tentacles and just spins like a freaking top. Just whap, 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 whap. Each hit taking off chunks of this thing until it just smacks it for a final time, sending it crashing into the ice.
All right, it crumbles down underneath the furious flurry of blows. Anything else for Squish?
Are the little ones still alive, or
they are? But they have changed the direction of what they want to do. Instead, of attacking, they are now attempting to flee, to get away, to survive.
Oh no, you don't. Oh no, you don't. The big one's dead, right? I don't have to worry about opportunity attacks.
Yeah, no, it's dead. It's dead. The giant red X means it's toast.
Okay, well, you know how sneaky them DMs can be.
Yep. Oh no!
I was about to just Squish is gonna get pursuit, calling out to it, "Come back here, you half-assed Jello knockoffs!"
And if I could do a Bill Cosby imitation voice, I would. I'd do it right now, but I can't. Just remember.
And you wanna be a knockoff Jello pudding?
Oh God, I'm keeping that one. That's great. All right. Well, this Oblex spawn is gonna move over here. And it's gonna thank its lucky stars that it's near the water. We're gonna give it a bloop, and it's gonna swim away. Harrow.
Good question here. Do we let these things get away, guys, or do we go after and finish them off?
The vile undead creatures must be destroyed.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna whip out my crossbow and shoot at this one that's farthest away here.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna like kind of casually put my hammer down on the ice, like just head down, using it to lean on casually, and fire a crossbow after this little bugger.
Oh my God! And even with disadvantage, you hit. Roll damage. Oh, he's not getting away. Goodbye. Thump. And it'll slowly disperse out into the water as the bones drift out of it.
All right.
I like the casual crossbow shot for the kill. You're like, thunk. Yeah.
Well, you know, feeling pretty cocky after we just beat the shit out of the giant one, and I've killed like 2 or 3 of my own on my own. So yeah, just kind of gonna chill there for a minute, catch a breather.
That's fair. That's fair. Sarah.
Well, I still have a spiritual weapon, so I should use it.
You do. Give him the bonk. Crunch. That's gonna do 15. Ow. What are you gonna do with your action? It's still up.
I'm gonna move the moonbeam over it.
Right here, right?
No, up and to the right more.
Okay, over here.
Yeah, Squish. Yeah,
Oh, sorry, my military.
Oh,
right. Sorry,
the other
Squish.
Squish.
There were so many oozes. I was just like, hit the ooze with it.
Yeah, that looks good.
All right. Burlow.
Another wisdom saving throw?
No, it died. You're not paralyzed anymore.
Okay.
So you can get up and end this whole thing if you want to take a swing at this thing. That's the only piece of the Oblex that's left.
Okay.
You can stand right underneath me. I mean,
that is gonna be it. Splat. And with that, the combat draws to a close. Congratulations, everyone. You managed to defeat the Oblex, and not only that, you kept any part of it from getting away to continue its life cycle and invade the mainland. And with that, our session draws to a close.
I'm upset about the potatoes that I didn't get to put in my pants.
That's a very relatable problem to have.
All of the other things that got put in your pants are upset that they got put in your pants. So, I mean, it's a fair trade.
If anyone wants some snacks, I have some.
And
I have a feeling we're going to need them considering we're stranded now.
Yep, you are now stranded on top of a frozen island with a wrecked ship. So who knows what comes next for our group of adventurers, but at the very least, even if they should not make it off the island, they also made sure that this thing never made it to their homeland.
There's always long pork.
So I would like to thank all of you for coming to this game. I'm extremely excited that not only did we manage to actually run this session today, because it was a little worrying with time scheduling and stuff like that, and whether or not stuff was going to get done in time, we ran all of it, and for the first time in the history of all of my games, we didn't go over time and finish the adventure. So I would like to give myself a pat on the back without breaking my arm, hopefully.
You get a gold star.
Good job on everybody for the adventure. I hope that you all had a blast. So What did you guys think? Was it fun? Was it cool? Was it interesting?
Yeah,
It
it was a
was
ton of fun.
Oh,
You did a
yeah.
great job.
It was
Liked
definitely
it.
good. Despite knowing ahead of time what the overall plot was, I was definitely pleasantly surprised by a few of the details. The shipwreck, I was not expecting. That was very cool.
Yeah, I had to keep some surprises in there. What were you saying, Mellowwater?
I said I liked it.
Awesome. Yes,
Also, Squish, was that your family?
My gosh.
distant,
If they were,
distant
there's
cousin.
none that
I think.
I haven't. If they were, I definitely don't. There's no hard feelings lost on that side of the family.
Even though Squish is pretty strange, you could still have family members who are estranged, and those ones were strange.
Yeah.
So yeah, the original concept for this was effectively to do John Carpenter's The Thing using an oblex in D&D. Lop came up with it and asked me if I would write it and run it for his birthday. I was like, you know what, that seems amazing. I hope you like the intro.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
I felt like that was pretty good because I was like, man, how am I gonna do, like, I don't want them to just be like, oh, we're on the ship and suddenly there are weird things going on and they have to like try and figure out what. But I was like, but if I do a prologue where they see where this thing happens, it would kind of set the stage.
It's totally the thing with the wolf. I'm just saying.
What
like,
if they moved to shoot the dog at the beginning?
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, if they had moved to shoot the dog at the beginning, I'm like, first of all, the only reason why I had to worry about that at all is because Jen was in the group.
I thought about it too.
I mean, I also thought about it. It's like, what says we can trust this dog anyway?
Yep. But I tried to portray the dog as like, oh, help me. I am a fluffy doggo, and I'm totally your friend and being chased by this crazy, crazy lizard man. And then the lizard man didn't do himself any favors, hurling firebolts at the thing and not caring who got hit. So, I mean, I couldn't have planned it better. You all played along perfectly, and I want to thank you for that because that is just awesome. I knew I wanted to throw something in there that would throw you for a loop there, Kevin. So instead of having you just like fight the thing on the ship after fighting a couple of the other crew members, I was like, the ship's gonna crash and you're ended up stranded on a frozen island with this thing, and it's gonna want to like consume you to use your body heat to stay alive so that it can hibernate.
And I still have PTSD from all the jelly cubes you put me in the last game that I was in with you.
And then Kevin's like, hey, come play at my birthday game. I'm sure there'll be no oozes.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. That was, ladies and gentlemen, that was amazing. I had a blast.
To remark, Jen, I made no such promises.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Oh yeah, by the way, the whole yelling of I'll put it in the chat here, but what he yelled at you all, I actually went and I took the translation from the movie, because what he says in the movie when he's yelling at them about the dog is actually a real line. And I went and I put it into a translator for Draconic.
Oh, that's right. He yells like in Finnish or Norwegian or something. Like he
Yep.
says like, the dog is not a dog. It's a
a
thing. Get away or kill it or something like that.
Yep. So that, I just put it in the chat here. That was what I put in there, and that's the Draconic translation for "get the hell away." It's not a dog. It's some sort of thing. It's imitating a dog. It isn't real. Get away, you idiots.
Amazing. Nice.
So it's like, man, I wonder if I'll have to do like some tweaking to make it happen. And no, I did not. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I couldn't have handed you all a script and had it go better. And that is just a dream come true for me. I hope that you all enjoyed it as much as I did. So before I close down, as always, are there any questions, queries, quandaries, posers for me?
Not to you, but to the rest of the group, because I did already kind of discuss this with you. I'm thinking of having Corwin do one shots like this maybe once every 2 or 3 months. So if any of you are interested in coming back, or if any of the spectators here would want to join in, please let me know, because I have other ideas for either modules or one-shot ideas that could be fun.
I'd be down for that, yeah.
Sweet.
All right, so I need to get going myself, but thank you all so much for coming. This made my birthday last week, that I'm not gonna lie was a bit of a turd sandwich, just made that all better. So thank you so much, guys.
Yep.
You
This time
still
you got
call
to
me Captain Great Pubes.
this time you got to have an ooze sandwich instead, and that's way tastier.
You
I
always
mean,
The
been that
Jello
baby.
sandwich with the Jello bread and the Jello pudding pop.
God, no.
Uh,
Huh?
Those pudding pops are laced with roofies. That's a hard pass.
I will see you
Oh
all later.
my, yes.
So much.
all right. So thank you again, everybody, for showing up. It has been awesome having you all, especially those who aren't members of the server and are friends of Lapernicus. It was great to have you here. I hope you enjoyed, and at some point, maybe we can even see you on here again. I would not be against having you. I'm sure that Lop can point you towards our support site. We have a great community here. If you want to join, feel free. If not, it was still amazing to have you as a player, and I treasured our time together. Thank you, everybody who showed up to watch. I hope you enjoyed watching all of the madness from behind the DM screen. And this, at the very least, is definitely going to make it up onto the Forever DM archive. I'm going to throw this to Chesh. I think that this would make a really great video, like a full vid, because this was just awesome. And John Carpenter's The Thing is amazing. So, I mean, why not? And with that said, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you in the next one. Good night, all.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye.